What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 203, being recorded on March 29th, 2023. I am your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here with me.
What's up, nerds?
That's right. We got Bootleg Joe.
Hey, I want to send a special shout out to my nephew, my 5-month-old nephew who is watching us right now. He's getting started young, so
Nice.
Thanks a lot, Nicole and Albert.
Hey, Nicole and Albert.
I'll watch
Take
my
care of that
language.
kid. That's right. And we got Grand Elmo Franz with us.
Hello.
And last but not least, of course, we got Ernie the Fallen Fett.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. But before we get into all the goodness of Star Wars and how great it is to be a Star Wars fan, to some people, it's great to be a Star Wars fan. To us, I mean, it isn't. Out there, it's I don't know what's going on. We're gonna talk this through.
People are weird. I'm done with them.
They're really weird, right?
Really
so
are.
We don't know what else to present to them, but yeah. So before we get into all of that stuff, and we want to give, of course, a special shout out to our Patreons and everybody in the pit. So I'll hand it over to Scott for that.
Thank you, one and all, to our Patreon patrons. We appreciate you. Without you, we wouldn't look as good as we were. Joey wouldn't have a new nephew if it weren't for all of you.
That's right.
Somehow
Your
or
money
another,
bought him
your
a new
money
nephew.
helped buy him a new nephew. He's a foundling, so that's it. He's not a nephew. He's a foundling.
shoot.
Come on,
Yeah.
Joey, get with it, man. Jeez, so if you want to contribute
Child
to
of a
Joey's
watch.
nephew, and it's not going to go to his nephew, I guarantee. Log on to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast and donate $1 or $2 a month. That we'd really appreciate it. Like these fine people right here. That's right. I have a graphic for it now. We've got AJ from the Forbidden Panel. We've got Cliff, Brandon and Anya Appler, Don the Dad Dorn, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network. Hey, that's our network. Eric Grubb, Fanboy Mike, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Gavin Connor from the I can't even speak, the All Cure Holy Hour podcast. I know, I can't get it right. Mervine, Nicholas Schaefer, Matt Logic, and of course, Ryan and the Star Joes. I would like to know how many bingos Matt Logic got today in our finale of Bad Batch Bingo, because the dude gets a bingo every episode. So thank you, everybody.
Speaking of bingo, we are combining both Bad Batch episodes into one bingo thing because we want to see as many bingos as possible. And there's a lot of room on that graphic too for more Patreon. So if anybody feels so inclined, the link is in the description below to help us bring more nephews into the world, and of course more
Newfoundlings.
But yeah, so we have our pit being digested as we speak. So Scott, don't stop there.
You got it. We've got Papa Schmitty in there, Matt Logic 44, Gordon is in there, Don the Dad Dorn, Santo 1414, Gavin Connor, whose podcast I completely butchered tonight. Sorry about that, buddy. We've got Bootlegs in there. Hey, he's right there too. He's right next to me. Brian Buckley's in there, all the way from Ohio. We've got Ubaldo T. Let me see. Saber Smith, Julianne Fernie from Alaska. What's up, Julianne? Let's see. Who else have we got? There's other people that just haven't spoken up either. So what's up, everybody? What's up, nerds?
Nice. Saber Smith already getting there, chat. And guys, well, I have to say it is a great time to be a Star Wars fan. Absolutely. We alluded to it. I was after this week, or after today's episodes and everything, I was just kind of sitting there going, you know what, this is awesome, and I love anticipating our shows and when we get to kind of like delve into it, right? And then there's like, again, I don't know. I'm trying not to pay attention to other people's stuff and whatever they have to say. You're muted, Chris.
He's getting really excited, really animated, and we can't hear a damn word you're saying.
You're muted. Oh, you're muted.
What's funny was I came on to say it because you were choppy. I was just trying to help you out and take over. And I was honestly coming in to say, okay, we had a great 3 episodes, and then I wasn't even there to help. Well, shit.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
I think it was yours. I didn't hear him choppy.
Oh, yeah, I thought he went choppy.
Good.
Then move along. Move along.
Carry on.
Move along.
So it worked out.
Move along.
Well,
it will happen. Trust me, because again,
I'm always on alert for it because I know where you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, guys. So again, wow, it's one of those things where I go, okay, how do I start? Where do I start? Right? I know we got a lot to go over, but I am feeling very positive about Star Wars right now and everything, and we'll see in a couple weeks when Celebration hits and we get announcements or whatever,
stuff. Yeah,
even more stuff, right? I mean, we won't be finished with Mandalorian when Celebration will be almost finished, I think.
Yeah.
3 more episodes left, right? On Mando.
That was 5.
That was 5.
Yeah.
So 3 more. Yeah. So we'll actually be like the week after Celebration will be the end of Mando.
3. Okay.
I know.
3 episodes left, and we're done with the pirates. So I mean, like we need to be imped out the rest of these 3. So I'm excited, right?
Yeah, when we get into it, because again, that last 2 minutes of the okay.
Yeah. Well.
All right, regroup, focus. So Bad Batch final finished. We're done with that now. Yeah. So again, Gordon, Bad Batch strong finish, and if everybody's been
strong 5 weeks.
Yeah, along for the ride with us from the beginning of when we start talking about Bad Batch. I reiterated this a lot of times, is that fact that we're waiting for the turning point. We were waiting for this kind of energy and story progression and shift. Yeah, absolutely.
And no candy coating. We were giving it shit. The show wasn't going anywhere. This show was dry. It wasn't.
I was
happening.
ready to kind of
However, we all put an asterisk on it, saying we trusted Filoni that they would turn around somewhere.
We did,
but it would be too little, too late. And I think the 5 episode span was pretty good. If it was only 2 episodes, I'd have been pissed.
You're right.
5 weeks of pretty good was.
You're 100% right on that, because I forgot about the first half of the series. Kind of like, why did I hate this? You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't know why I was bothered by it. This is great stuff, right? So, so it's just funny how it works out. Everything works out at the end,
Yep. Maybe not for some of the Bad Batch members, but everything else worked out in the end.
Man,
yeah. Let's just jump in. Let's go.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. We got the overlay of the Bad Batch. So 2 episodes, one big episode actually. The summit and Plan 99. So, right away, and I was just talking to the guys about this too. And chat, please, get your comments in, chat it up. But we got to get going on this. Saul Guerrero made his comeback in the Bad Batch and everything. It took 2 seasons for him to. I mean, 2 lengthy seasons for him to come back full circle. Not that I was waiting for him. I just forgot about him. Like, I forgot that they were introduced to him.
I forgot
the first
about
mission
him.
was to kill him. You know what I mean?
I forgot about him during this episode because he was such a small portion of it that I forgot he was in it.
I don't have him in my notes. I didn't send a screenshot. And while I was doing the screenshots, when I took it, I'm all, why are the good guys in armor? I didn't remember the Bad Batch putting on Stormtrooper armor. And I thought, I'm all, well, they're comfortable in it, but who's in there right now? Wrecker's not. It was a stupid mess in my head. I forgot Saul existed.
Yeah.
It was a dumb episode for that. I mean,
Ryan
everything
Buckley,
else was great.
Yeah, always messes stuff up. I mean, because of Saul, what might have sealed the fate of one of our most beloved Bad Batch too, because of his actions and him being the extremist. I think the fact that Andor, I think we're going to see a lot more Saul in Andor season 2. I think they're trying to really get us into the extremism of his group and stuff like that. So again, it's important. A lot of things are in there for reasons. But yeah, his blatant disregard for life because of the greater good attitude is I guess the purpose of Saul. So we have to put an asterisk on that and put it in our notes to come full circle when it does. I don't think we're seeing him in the Bad Batch, but other shows. Right. But yeah, that was a cool thing. Part of me is going like, all right, this better not be like the big, cameo or the big action thing to have Guerrero in this and going through that, as cool as it was to blow up Tarkin's stronghold, that was awesome.
Well, enough to piss him off. I don't think it was even destroyed, but it was enough to piss him off at least, right? But it was neat to be on air. It was neat to be on Ariadu.
But
that was really cool.
Piss him off, because that's the point I was going to make, was he wasn't even scared by it.
He wasn't scared.
Tarkin,
no,
no.
Piss
wasn't
him
scared.
off. Not scare him. Piss him off.
Everything was
Tarkin put up his room like.
But I didn't even see him like pissed off either.
Oh, show that picture, Scott.
Like
I got a screenshot of a pissed off Tarkin.
You did. I'm trying to find it, but they're all just completely screwed up. So.
Because
there we go.
He is Gordon off. I tell you that
right there. He's pissed.
Yeah.
Tarkin ain't having this, dude.
But like everything's exploding and everything like that. And he was just like, "Oh, we'll be fine."
Oh, well, it's kind of like the Death Star was gonna blow up. What they're attacking, and he was cool. Tarkin is just cold blooded, man.
Yeah.
Evacuate in a moment of triumph.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing
I think
here.
you overestimate their chances.
These fools aren't gonna blow up.
Yeah.
The
But speaking of that council of the Tarkin's council, the fellowship, what was it? The Elrond's council. It's Tarkin's council. Like he had Hemlock there. He had Krennic, which was like, I was sitting there and I was going like this. Krennic should be there before they even said his name. I'm like, he should be in this meeting. You know what I mean?
As a commander right now, he's not a director yet. Commander Krennic.
Right.
Which having Krennic in there, not only was it cool, but it was also Mendelsohn doing the voice of him too.
Oh, nice.
So for 2 lines, they got Mendelsohn to come back. That was badass.
Oh yeah. So okay, Matt Logic, right there, because he has questions about who's at the table. Each one had Hemlock was the clone. He was like, here's the report on the cloning, and then Krennic was Operation Stardust. Here's the updates on Operation Stardust, and I don't know who the other guy was.
They were from one of them was in Andor too, and I can't remember what it was about, but. We'll have to search for it. I didn't have time today.
I'll look it up while we're talking. So just go on ahead.
Kind of a cool piece of like I said again, we're still in the beginnings of the Imperials and the Empire taking over. I mean, somewhat beginnings. I mean, we're in it. They're doing their thing and having this kind of cool callbacks to like the programs that are being active. I had a lot of interest in Hemlock's cloning purposes in this whole arc.
I can't stand the way that Hemlock talks. It really bugs me.
Really? I mean, I love it. Okay,
I do not like it. I'm waiting.
I gotta ask you guys something.
Yeah. I get it. No, it's weird because it's out of place with the show.
Yes.
Right? Like everything else has the same tempo, pace, something about it. But as soon as he starts talking, it's almost like it's from in a different place.
I don't know why.
He's Dr. Cool. Frankenstein, man. He's
not Cobra Commander, but just like I feel like this snake feeling of give me the clones.
It's just he has a different echo. He has a different echo than everybody else has in their voice. Like he's in a tunnel and they're not.
But it's the same way I feel about Crosshair's voice. Crosshair sounds like a French waiter or something like something.
The way how he's so different.
Yeah,
I never heard it that way.
Yeah.
But
it really gets me.
The one thing that just kind of like kept going back was Hemlock. He kept rubbing the gloved hand. He kept rubbing the gloved hand. All like every time something bothered him, or he was just but like he's in charge of the whole cloning facilities, and he's all in charge of like that. And I'm wondering if like he's half clone, like he's using. You know what I mean?
If he cloned his hand,
that
would be cool. I don't know.
It would make sense because he's trying to splice things. Oh.
Well, do we know that yet? Do we know he's doing the splicing yet? That was a Pershing thing.
Oh wait, that's too early. Sorry, I'm way too early.
Way too
yeah, sorry.
Right, like
just the hand thing.
Splicing was Pershing.
Yeah. Right, but I mean, there's something going on with that. He's got one gloved hand.
Well, he says he's trying to get what they've been doing, so he doesn't have it perfected yet. But then Pershing says, "You could have saved my mom with the whole heart thing."
Jumping back to that, right before he said that, you saw what he did, right, with his ear.
Oh yes, yeah, Pershing.
So then later on, he does that same thing with the droid when they said, have you been angry with the Republic or whatever?" Right? He did the same tell. Yeah. So is it a tell because he's about to get upset, or a tell because he's lying about? I think it's a tell.
Somebody had said that it was a remnant of him being, whenever he was being held hostage and Cara Dune shot the guy next to her.
Oh,
he shot at his ear, and he grabbed his ear.
Right.
So it's like, are you upset with the Republic? He grabs his ear
But he did that before his mother. About the mother talk, he did the same exact thing, and they pointed and they zoomed in on it the same exact way.
Yeah, made it a point to be like
before those two things. Switch. Before those two things, he paused and gave that tell. So I'm wondering, maybe he made the mother story up too, and he's just a psycho imperial too. I don't know, but I'm just
could be. Gordon, he has a baby hand under that. What is that movie? Was it Scary Movie or something?
Yeah.
Let me mix
Try
the
some
punch
of the
for
corn. You want some mashed potatoes? Yeah. Let me use my good hand.
Hurst Ramadi was the name of the guy who was talking about the clones, and he is a character from Rogue One. So
Rogue One.
Yeah, it was from Rogue One. So.
Okay.
There you go.
But yeah, like Miss Sunflower, hey, what's up? Hemlock may have started the splicing, and yeah, maybe he experimented on himself first, or yeah. There's something there, and it's so funny, like how this is all at the end of this season that we have to wait for another season to get more answers, and that's what's like. But it keeps our brains going, right? It keeps us.
But back in that room before we leave that room, it was neat to see one of them seem to care about what could happen to the clones or what was going on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're getting that side. So, like, what I really like right now, what's going on, what we've seen in Mandalorian and Bad Batch, is you see the Empire and the New Republic, how they're not that different, right? There are good people, there are bad people. They do good things, they do bad things. And they're showing it they're not that different. Like right now, I hate the New Republic. Yeah. I'm pining for an Empire back.
The Empire just did it better.
Back.
Like more structured, more better, and the New Republic is trying to, it seems like they're trying to please everybody, but at the same time, they don't know how. Like it's too much of a duty for the New Republic to.
They got too many things going on. Sorry, we jumped the whole show. I
know,
but
I mean, but there's a good comparison though, because that will come to play later. But
it sure will. And they're with crisscrossing. They kind of it doesn't like they do. They help each other out.
Absolutely. Cool. So the only ones we don't know are the two on the.
He knew the one with the balding
balding mullet.
Yeah. The balding mullet. Yeah.
Balding mullet. That's Hurst Ramadi. Okay. The other guy is I've got a name for him, but he hasn't really appeared anywhere. It's Lieutenant Maylure.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay, cool. What's Tarkin's rank at this point?
Well, he's governor. I don't know if he's Moff or Grand Moff yet.
Right, because they referred to him as governor.
He wouldn't be. I don't think he'd be Grand Moff until much later.
Okay.
No.
So
I was just something I was just trying to figure out there. But yeah, so that's. I guess that's the summit, the heads of the Empire getting together and all these programs.
Well, Tarkin's kind of like running things, and those are his project managers, right?
Yeah,
that's how I see it. He's running things for the Emperor on a couple of different projects. He has the Outer Rim, is what Tarkin should have right now. Is the Outer Rim.
Gotcha.
So these are the guys working out here that started sticking up for the clones a little bit.
That's the mullet dude, right?
That was the one from Rogue One.
The Hulk Hogan dude.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan dude. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan dude.
Yeah.
But again, more reiteration of that was it. That was the repurpose. The repurpose. What are we going to do with all these clones that have been, just decommissioned and all that stuff? And Hemlock is like, they're our property. We can do whatever we want with them. That was
that was Imperial.
Yeah.
That's that part of Imperial where you're okay. That's when you went too far. You have control now. You're an ass.
These are the crazies that nobody that sees this. It's like behind the doors. You know what I mean? Those are the crazies.
Yeah. Miss Sunflower, her last question: when did he get promoted to Grand Moff? It's in the book, the Tarkin book. I just can't.
Yeah, I think
when it was right now. It's been a while.
I think it's. Yeah, it's weird. There's that whole discussion of like when in A New Hope when the Emperor has dissolved all remnants of the Senate, and local regional governors will control their own systems and all that stuff, and that's where I almost think that's where he became Grand Moff. Like,
it was before that.
Was it before that? Okay.
Yeah, it was before that. It was.
Okay.
They mentioned how it was a special thing for him too.
Okay. Because
at that point there was no Grand Moff. He is the Grand Moff.
Yeah, I always put that in my head that at that point, when like behind the scenes we didn't see it on film is when the Emperor dissolved the Senate. That was in my head canon before the books and all that stuff. That's where the point. So, so before that,
so
maybe
it's not
wasn't Krennic getting
for
pissed?
The Death Star?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
remember
maybe
Krennic goes off
that.
on him, and he says for your own what is that? Basically, I thought that's what it was.
After
Krennic.
he took credit for the Death Star,
yeah.
Could be. Yeah,
Maybe
I don't know. I need to get our timeline in order for these.
Yeah, I have to go through the book. I don't know right now. We'll have to move on from that one because we'll have to figure it out.
So, all right, guys. So, I'm gonna talk about tech right now because they foreshadowed tech early on in the summit.
Early on in the season.
Well, early on in the season when we were getting
telegraphed.
It's always when we start caring about a character and when they give us more more screen time with the character. But
and especially if they're all of a sudden gonna get close to a kid.
Yes, but what was a tell sign for me was when Fee went up to him to say goodbye.
Oh yeah.
Hey, brown eyes, like don't look me up. Kind of that you're not gonna say goodbye. That's when I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, and I thought it was heartfelt. This was, okay, look, I know these are cartoons, but
oh, dude,
what a great job by Dad.
I bawled this episode.
Yeah,
calling them all one episode, right? I mean, I bawled this episode.
Yeah, I mean, what a great, like I said, what great acting from this cartoon character.
Yeah,
it's so
for
good,
sure.
dude. Like, it was so heartfelt and good. Like I
thought
said,
she
and
was
I
trying to
already
be
knew.
mean.
Yeah, I already knew that.
Like she was
Okay, something's
flirting
gonna
a
go
little
on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I totally think that they were together. He doesn't know it. He's in that state, but I mean,
Right,
like we
yeah.
said,
Oh,
we
yeah.
pointed out before they were sitting together. The way that she talks to him, the way that he looks, like there was signs there. I
Yes.
do. So her whole "you're leaving without saying goodbye."
Right.
As soon as she
Yes.
said that, I was in the whole crap situation too, because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no,
I know, man.
here
Like,
Yeah.
it comes. Right. And then I loved his answer right up. Yes, I was.
yes, I was.
Like, okay. and
He's-
she has to
he's
break it
always
down to
honest.
him. Yeah.
Oh,
And she
yeah,
breaks
sure.
it down to him. And then when she said, I guess you be safe, Brown Eyes, I was like, oh no.
I know.
Yeah.
So I gotta tell
No.
you, like, okay, so I'll just put it out there right now. No body, no death is a big thing
You
in,
need
in
to
Star
stop
Wars, and I'm just saying it's a big thing in
No.
movies and stuff. They do it all the time.
No.
I mean, I honestly felt, and I want to put it out there, and I think all you guys agree with me is Tech. Okay, so spoiler, and everybody should know this. Tech falling to his death should be a permanent thing moving forward.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't, as sad as it was and everything, and I felt like it was very important for progression of especially the Bad Batch and everything. So like double, Tech ain't dead, and again, I get that because no body, no death. That's a big thing.
No, not
There's
in this
things
one.
on
Dude,
purpose.
This one was completely set up from the go for him to die, for us to
Yeah.
care, and if they bring him back, it takes away so much. I'll never care about a death again. Put up Miss Sunflower thing again, please. The one which you talked about, the prediction from early on. There's two. Number one, it was predicting because she was getting close, right? We were starting to like Tech. He was getting the best character development, and he was getting
Yes.
close to Omega. The other part was there's redundant characters. Echo and Tech are way redundant. They can do
I agree.
almost the same thing.
I agree.
So as
Which
soon
is
as
what Rick Jones says here.
as soon as Echo came back, Tech's out. There's no
Right.
need for
Yeah.
him. No need. You don't need them both.
Yeah,
And that's what we
I,
talked about in the beginning of the season. You don't need them both.
that's right.
What happened, Joe?
Yeah, it's like from the beginning of the
It's not even
season,
redundant.
they were like leading up. They kept putting a focus on Tech. Like
They did. We built him up.
they kept focusing on his character, like trying to character building him. They got pretty deep at times. We seen sides of him that we never seen before, and so you knew they were leading up to something.
Yeah, I'll say
And-
right now, if that was Echo, I would have cared, but not as much. I would have been like, oh man, that sucks for Echo. He just came back and afraid and then fell to his death.
Oh, he just undied. Now he's going to die again. That's what I'm saying. You
Almost
can't
the
just bring
same
these
way-
guys back.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost the same way we felt about Wrecker last season. How they
Yeah.
kept building on Wrecker, and we were like,
Right,
oh,
right.
They better not take him out.
And
But
another
look, when they kill a clone, though, besides Echo, but they use that for the plot. They kill the clones. It's not like they come back. They use the clones for fodder in this show. Clones,
Oh,
droids,
100%.
aliens can die.
100%. So the way this happened, the way the whole thing transpired, and Tech sacrificing himself for the good soldiers follow orders, and he cuts the line and he falls, and that silence, there's no music, and that thing. I was just like, I couldn't breathe. I was like, the whole way they did it was so perfect to have it come back. That's why I was like, it needs to be permanent. It needs to be permanent. As sad as it is, it needs to be.
The fact that they had a Plan 99,
Yes.
Yeah.
right, is
Yeah.
intense.
Oh.
Yes.
That's pretty, and not everybody else has that because they're Clone Force 99. That's
Right.
that's their plan. That's not a clone thing. That's a
Right.
crew.
This is
thing,
the Brad.
right?
Yeah, this is their brotherhood family.
If it's me or you guys, you can't sacrifice one. You can't sacrifice everybody to save one. He knew he had to sacrifice.
And he knew
himself.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, man. It was a
intense.
noble sacrifice.
The one you had before this, the when have we ever followed orders? That is key. Because what do the clones always say?
He's staring at me, Joey. I don't like it.
The clones always say good soldiers follow orders, right?
Yeah.
Right. These aren't good soldiers. They don't follow their orders. So,
right.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat. Pretty freaking cool. I love this episode.
I kind of expected Omega towards the end to say the same thing, Order 99. She looked like she would be willing to sacrifice herself to save.
Yeah. Omega would 100% would. Absolutely. Yeah. I believe it. I do believe that. Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, Omega would. I get a chill.
I know, right?
5 episodes to like Omega.
So this is the first time Omega got me.
See?
Well, dude, it's the thing. You know what got me was the reaction of Omega as she came out of her little coma and looking for Tech and realizing
that doubled me up.
They played it so well of her the remembering. Yeah. She's like, "Oh, where am I?" And then it hits, and then the silence of everybody and the look downs and everything like that.
Saying, "Don't you do it." Don't you?
Yeah.
Do
But like you said, with Omega's part, how they had it like foggy, like you were in her head, Ernie, like you were saying that, like they had. She was hazy and everything. It was really cool to show she was knocked out of it.
Correct. So good.
Really cool.
Yeah. Filoni said something when we saw him talk in Celebration, how the animation is just really picking it up from the Clone Wars and Rebels, and going in from like this type and the Tales from the Jedi, how they really stepped up like everything, not just environments, not just the look, it's just everything. It's just so good. And I kept thinking to myself, it's a kids show, right? Yeah, right. Kids.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They give okay, was it 18 episodes? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
16 or whatever.
16
episodes. They'll give the kids 11 episodes and then
exactly.
The next 5.
This one was again, we're always looking for those episodes with the progression of the story and all that stuff. And man, this is a good one. It's good. I don't know if I'll rewatch it because it's so good. That's the whole.
Where it got even that it was already good. Like that ending could have been it, right?
That could have been
her getting sad and everything. Yeah. But then they still kept on, and we still get that twist.
The whole purpose of oh god,
this was telegraphed to almost exactly how it happened too.
Yeah, and all I kept thinking was, stop putting it on, Sid. Stop making that sad face.
No, I totally buy that.
Oh, I know, I did. I bought it, but I was pissed at her. I was like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? I was like,
I thought she was going to come up with a plan of a whole Lando. Right. I thought it was going to be Lando. I did.
Okay.
I had to turn you guys in. Here, I'm rescuing you, but it wasn't.
It still may be.
Gotcha.
We've still got another season, right?
That's
true.
She
can still turn it around. I don't like Sid. I want her gone, but I do think this was forced. You can kind of tell when she was with Wrecker giving him the drink. Yeah. And then he didn't take it, which, I know I look too deep into shit, right? But cartoons are pretty slick when they go, you know what? Solving a problem, drinking isn't going to solve a problem. Show the kids.
Right, yeah.
It won't help. That was very slick. I think that was on purpose. But I think she's really sincere right here. And I think she's sorry, and I don't think she wanted to do what she did. I don't like her at all, but I don't think she wanted to do this.
No, I agree. I agree with the sincerity. I really do.
And she might actually find Fee and ask Fee to help next season get Omega back.
Yeah, but this is we've talked about this. Her turning. I think Ernie said it or something like she's working for the Empire the whole time or something. Right. But this is a last ditch. Yeah, it's almost like it's either you or me kind of deal, and she made that decision for the self-preservation. And this whole thing about there were so many cliffhangers going on in this last 10-15 minutes about are they gonna escape? Oh, that just got captured. Oh, they got released. Are they? It was a whole roller coaster of emotions going on. I honestly, because of the tech, I didn't know what was gonna go on. I thought for sure Wrecker was gonna eat it right here. I thought for sure Hunter was gonna more were gonna die, and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna get rid of more Bad Batch.
The series finale.
Yeah, right. And
I did too.
And credit to everybody associated with the show of giving me that as a viewer those emotions watching it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and you know what else? Back. Sorry, I hate to jump back on a topic, but Tech being dead, they really made a good point of showing how hurt the Bad Batch was.
Yes,
and they don't always do that. And these guys are really hurt. I mean, he's in a neck brace, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then this piece here, I mean, he can still be alive. He can still have him in a lab, theoretically.
Right.
Yeah. But with how jacked up the Bad Batch is after getting saved, and he's the one that plummeted. I just don't do it. That's all.
That's what I'm saying. There's too much that went forward and too much sacrifice for him. You know, it means a hell of a lot what he did.
It was too important. Don't take.
He
my
needs
crying
to stay
away.
dead for the story.
Yes, don't make this some endgame bullshit where somebody snaps their fingers and.
Yeah, let's not go into the quantum realm and change everything.
Yeah,
No.
or he comes back as this messed up clone because of the doctor. The doctor actually grabbed, because if you notice, the doctor is the one who grabbed his goggles and says and makes the threat. So my head was already spinning to that, and I don't want that to happen because for the story and like that, if they would have taken out Wrecker, that would have hurt. But I could see it happening. Like he was trying to make his point. I thought they were going to, and I was just like even ready for it. So he needs to stay dead, like he does. Because
what about a cyborg?
I know.
I know, but still,
what if they all become Death Troopers?
Yeah.
Like they all the tech crosshairs.
Oh!
They're all Death Troopers.
Oh, now I'm in.
Now
I'm in. I'm in. Well, make them all cyborg Death Troopers. I'm in.
And I know that the doctor acts like he doesn't care, but he knows this crew. Because then he says, "Oh, you know your what did he say? He called it out. Your special, your extra. Whatever.
Oh
you
yeah,
can't
he
plan
called
for
Hunter
this.
out with his.
You know you're outnumbered. Correct. Yeah, of their special attributes that he knows that they have. So he studied here. So where he's trying to act like I don't want you guys. He does.
Yeah.
Because he knows them. He knows them for each one of what they do.
Oh, 100%.
But she's the important one because of whatever she holds, or she's a part of them all.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's actually important because of Nala Se. That's all he really cares.
But I think it's
not
more than
even
that,
her
though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is more than that. I think that's to get her on board, and he knows that there's something there. He's using it. He knows how to play everything.
Or it's going to be discovered, right? Like, okay, she grabbed Omega to get Nala Se to cooperate, but then discovering Omega's got some stuff I can use, because Nala Se, what you're because in that whole dialogue between Hemlock and Nala Se, she said the Emperor's plan is not going to work, and he says make it work. Yeah. And I think that's where this thing where maybe Nala Se knows that to make it work, I've got to dissect Omega or something. Or
dissect Omega is kind of deep. I think a blood sample or two might work, man.
I don't know. I think it's something where almost like how Grogu, right? Like deplete the resources, doesn't matter, and dump the body kind of deal.
Jesus
you know
Christ.
what I mean? That's where.
When did that happen in the Mandalorian? Use the resource and dump the body. I missed that episode.
That's what the client said. He says deplete all the resources.
No, the resources are depleted. Everything. We need more. I don't remember.
No. That was
saying
after.
Deplete the resources.
No, that was
Suck
after.
the kid dry is pretty.
Yes,
really.
He said that in season 1. Yeah,
I'm gonna go watch that.
Yeah, go watch it again.
Which I think we get the first shot in Obi-Wan, where they were all in the Jurassic Park Ember.
Right. Yeah,
and they've been used. Yeah. And so now that's done. And so do the same thing to the kid. He did not care about that. It was just they found another Force one. Get what you need. Is it going to work this time?
Yeah,
I totally feel that way too.
Do you think Hemlock knows most about Omega Senior?
Oh,
do you think he knows?
I think he created her.
I would think so.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think he's been around that long, man. I think he's new to this game. No, the Kaminoans are the experts. He's coming out.
I had said that. I mean, you just saw the look. So, but why tell her in secret like that?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
that's the thing.
Ernie, do you think he knows?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah,
I like it better if he didn't know. Yeah,
correct. Because the way that she was talking to Crosshairs, that's where it kind of started rolling out. Like, was she helping him, or was that a setup? That wasn't a setup, because then he goes into his whole toxin thing. So what is he doing to these clones? And then the way that she's like, you need to think this and everything like that. Then she sees him. She sees Omega and then reveals herself. That's why I don't think so.
This is actually a really, really cool and good twist, because it raises so many questions, right? Like she revealed herself to Omega. I mean, I'm you, and so that puts us back to how old Boba Fett's? No, that's Omega's. How old is she right here? You know what I mean? Like how old is
she's probably, this one's probably accelerated.
I would think so.
Oh no, absolutely accelerated, but I mean Rex is old.
Right. Rex is a G1, but this one wouldn't be. But
That's where I'm kind of questioning where in the timeline of the.
Omega was there when the Bad Batch was made, right? Didn't she say that?
Yes. She was part in the same. Yeah.
Tech called her the fifth member.
Fifth member of Bad Batch. But get this. Remember, they said there were. What would they say? There were 5 of them. We assumed it was Omega.
Right. Oh, maybe this is the 5th one.
This one's not. This one's age. Omega's not. Omega's different than the other 5.
This is the scientist of the group.
This is This is the 5th one.
Gotcha.
And Omega's a combination of all of them.
Omega is Lame Su's Jango Fett. Jango Fett wanted an untouched one. He got Boba. She got Omega.
Basically.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
But but all these attributes came from these 5 people. And the 5 all include her.
That's interesting, Chris, because we, like I said, we always assume, and Nala Se had Omega as her like a personal, her
assistant, her
daughter
her
or
ward,
whatever,
right?
You know, like she was an unaltered clone, and I wonder if Omega was made after Boba Fett or before or during the same time.
She's younger than Boba Fett.
I like the fact if this is number 5 in the Bad Batch.
Yeah, we did talk about that last season though, didn't we? Did we come to a conclusion that they were the same age?
We did.
Yeah,
we did.
We'll stick with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to stir the pot on that one. I think we're good. But this one, I think she's probably the same age. See, not knowing how old the Bad Batch are, they seem seasoned and old to me. But that's because they beat the hell up.
Right.
Yeah.
They're scarred, and they have tattoos on their faces and goggles.
Yeah. Again, more questions than answers, and I like it because that's what makes us keep going.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Oh man, what a great thing. And then like I said, that whole dialogue about Nala Se telling Hemlock like the Emperor's plan is not going to work, and he's like, make it work. And that was like I was like, okay, that is important right there. Make it work. She knows the plan, and that's going to put, I think, Omega in danger and all that stuff. So
that was some corporate talk right there, by the way.
It really was. Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't care where you find it. Yeah, do it. I'd hate to move on from this stuff, but anything else in this Bad Batch season or last 2 episodes that
they ended last season on an after credit scene of Mount Tannis during the day, all bright. This last shot was Mount Tannis dark. The Mount Tannis is the key to everything right now, and I think it's going to show up soon in our live action. But that's it, because they're really, really zoning in on Mount Tannis at the end of the seasons. I thought that was interesting, is all.
100%.
It's a good mirror.
Yeah. And the last season, it was a nice. They came up on the blue sky scene, right?
Yes. And that just tells us, like I said, the storm is coming, right? The Empire, everything's going to get dark, and
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's all foreshadowing. Everything is for a reason. Yeah, exactly. It's all there, guys, and
Well, now speaking of all there, just look at the Sparty cylinders. I mean,
snoke bodies.
I hope those are Sparty. Will somebody please say that? That's all I want.
I know.
Right?
I do too. Yeah,
I'll be stoked when we hear that.
Well, you know what I want?
What's that?
I want Snoke to be an acronym.
Right.
All this time.
Right.
Fuck.
It would be a better name than Snoke.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
I just went through the Bad Batch. No, damn.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
I got right to Hunter and lost it.
Yeah. So I would love Snoke
started
to be an
and ended
acronym
there.
for something.
That would be cool, man.
As far as all to this cloning process.
Yeah.
So that Snoke is not a person. Snoke
was the dumbest name ever for a villain. I mean,
he's Project Snoke.
Project Snoke.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about.
Something.
So the whole,
that would have been interesting on that round table thing. Like, is Project Stardust going good? What about Project Snoke? Well, we're running into some snags there, and
no, but but I would like for them to say it fully.
Yeah.
So what about?
That would be
a
what
good
I'm saying.
Twist. Cloning, yeah. And we sat here like it was right there.
Well, now I'm going through words in my head.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah.
I had about 4 or 5 seconds in there, and I'm like, nope, don't do it, Chris. Just stay with the show. You'd have lost me for the next hour.
I actually did feel better with Omega. I mean, she got captured when Crosshair was still there. I did felt like I think Omega was like Crosshair, he's there, and I'm like, oh well, there's the thing that could get her out of the situation or whatever, and moving on. I felt.
Oh
I
no,
felt
there's
better.
there's a clone assault coming pretty early in season 3. Rex and crew are coming
Pretty early,
and I think at that point
that's episode 12. Yeah,
they're gonna need help, and I would think they would. Rex and Ahsoka would have a contact.
Yeah.
So I mean that's when you bring a Jedi in. You're gonna have to bring a Jedi in at some point.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Well, Gunji, get Gunji in there, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gunji.
that's fair. Gunji could be it.
Why not? She goes back there and we need your help, kind of deal. And
Yeah.
But
that's going to have to happen in 3. There's no way to attack Mount Tannis without a Force user. You can't just go in with even 12 clones.
Yeah.
The commandos are in there, for Christ's sake.
Skyriders. Hey, guy, I'm sorry I'm late. Let's start all over.
Okay.
Let's go.
What's up, nerds?
I love this. I love this Scorch got to shoot Omega. That was cool.
So here's the thing, though. I mean, the commandos are clones. They see all this crap happening. Are they still just so ingrained and so indoctrinated that they do not have free will at all? I never played Republic Commando, so I don't know the story behind the group.
The Republic Commando only is Clone Wars. Like they're only facing droid, the Separatist army, and it is that Prime. It's never
Republic Commando count still, or could we get a change on their backstory? It doesn't count, right?
It could change in backstory. Right. Yeah, the character is there now, but it's not the story's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like Scorch, that's him. That's the character.
Yeah. Right.
But it's not the same backstory necessarily.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
but there's always some truth in Legends per Ahsoka.
Yes. Right.
Here's the thing: playing through the Republic Command, it can all be canon and be perfectly fine because it was a Clone Wars mission. It was just it had Grievous in it, but it all can happen. It was great. There's nothing in there that could be like because the video game did this and that. You know what I mean? But yeah, so
okay. Well, hang on a second. Before we move any further, if we look at Skyrider's latest claim, he says, "By the way, Tech lives, and he can back that up."
Let's go.
So, all right, go ahead while we finish talking about this. We'll start typing, man. We'd love to hear how you can back that up.
The only thing that we can think of again, if is what Chris said or what or I forgot who said. Somebody said it was coming back as a full-on cyborg, or
it has to be like parts of him, and they cyborg him like Grievous. That's the only way.
He's dead.
And then I might buy it, but he couldn't be good.
Right.
Yeah. But then that turns too much into the RoboCop story, right?
I
Omega's
agree.
going to be the one who's going to try and save him. It's true. Like that's all we're going to think of is, oh my God, it's a straight RoboCop. Yeah. It's not Tech because he did die. We know it's Tech, and she's trying to make him remember the memories.
Let him die.
Sure. I feel like that's kind of Crosshair's gig, though. I mean, of course he's not a cyborg, but they're trying to get him to remember the times where they all had together. Become one of us again.
Well,
I feel like they would be
already there.
Fee would have to step in and be the one to do it.
Oh, gross.
Yes.
Like remembering the.
Oh no, the Lovey Dovey was cool for exactly what it was. I'd be through with it if they kept doing it. That was perfect. Perfect.
See, that's like this whole thing, this whole 2-episode arc was all about Crosshair getting. They found a way to get to Crosshair. Well, no, but I'm just saying that all the repercussions led up as they found a way to get to Crosshair. And so that's why it's got to be, like I said, moving on to season 3 or whatever. The redemption arc is got to be Crosshair going forward. And like I said, not what you guys were talking about. I know we're just kind of like throwing it out there, spitballing, and having Tech come back as like a cyborg in that whole.
You got to have more than that, Skyrider. Come on, Fee's seen with brown eyes. They wouldn't have wasted that scene if they were going to kill him off. Absolutely would.
I would argue that line actually means that he's dead.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Well, that's what she said it. I'm like,
I would go with Rick Jones more on this one.
Yeah, that line is what nailed it.
That was the opposite for me. Right.
Sorry,
me too, Ernie.
Scott, go ahead.
Tech's body glided into a lake, safely landing in water.
Water sees everything, right?
Can you guys help me? It's very shallow down here. I never knew it was this shallow.
The only thing you found was the goggle, sir. Yeah, I think that's what's setting it up. Sabersmith, Omega, and Crosshair are going to get each other out. I mean, we're speculating.
I hope so. I hope Crosshair hasn't had a change. We still don't know what's going to happen with him. They're doing something, right?
I think
so.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope
exactly.
He's a
So,
Death
I
think
Trooper
the lost-
starting that up. All those guys in there are the Death Troopers in that room.
I wish, dude. Oh, come on.
Probably.
the
I
first
think
ones.
the loss of Tech will spur Crosshairs into action.
Yes.
I think that was the moment. That was the thing. You know, once he finds out what happened to Tech, I think that's what will make him see the
I
light.
think he already was there, and then
Yeah, I
with
think
the
he already
he
saw
was.
the light.
message,
Yeah.
he
He was
was,
getting-
but he
was
keeps
getting there.
doing this reprogramming, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he's
Yeah.
So
getting
that's why.
trapped.
This is going to
Yeah.
be tough. It's going to be a tough turn. It's not going to be quick because,
Correct.
they took him
Yeah.
and shocked it out of him. So it's going to have to be, like you said, that I do believe the Tech turn, literally what they said last week, which is weird, right? But,
Also,
that'll
to
get
leave
the
it off
turn around.
before we get into bingo, to back up the claim that the Death Troopers are being created somehow, some way, is the introduction of Krennic, and Krennic goes and visits the facility, and that's why he gets his personal guard of the Death Troopers, you know, and ISB will get the Death Troopers there, and like I said, the introduction of why we saw him there would be that catalyst next season of him. I want them for my personal guard, you know, and that would be. Because it's the first time we ever saw him was with him.
Because
you know, so.
Yeah.
in Mando, that was the introduction of Phase 3. He said, wasn't it? Wasn't that Phase 3 where we figured it out? We didn't need the humans.
Those are the Dark Troopers.
Dark Troopers, not the
So,
Death Troopers.
It could be, but it could be either way.
It could be.
So to Ernie's point there, this could be version 1, Mark 1
Correct.
of the
Dark Troopers.
Dark Trooper.
Yeah,
Even
that
more
could work
so,
too.
even more so than a Death Trooper.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that could be too,
Like
man.
that.
It could be either one.
See,
Yep.
everything comes full circle. They said it in
Yep.
Mando, and we'll see it, and yeah.
And they do set these things up way ahead of time. I mean, you see them later, but
Okay, so let's do this. We said that with Bad Batch Bingo, we're going to combine the two episodes. So Scott, you could pull that up, and we'll go one by one across the thing. And hopefully, I don't think there's a blackout, but it's very
There's
close.
not a blackout. No, there's
Yeah.
not. So
Very close.
This once again is our Bad Batch Bingo for all of our Patreon members. You have your Bad Batch Bingo cards. You have 2 cards as you have every week. Grab them now because we're going to play some bingo. And we're going to go square by square, starting at the top. Oh, first off, the dead center. Doesn't matter what's in the dead center. For us, it's Omega doesn't listen. But whatever you have in the middle, go ahead and block that one out first off. So there we go. Middle square. You've already got square. You're 1/5 of the way there to a bingo.
Right.
So buckle up, baby. Here we go. All right. Tech says how smart he is. He does indeed say how smart he is. Narrow escape scene. Absolutely.
Always.
There is a narrow escape scene.
Always.
There's even a narrow escape scene they didn't escape from, at least one
Right.
of them. Omega shows incredible aim. Yes, she did. I was expecting to see you, Lauren, but instead we got Krennic, and I think that's
Right.
even better. So,
Exactly.
but no, you, Lauren. Nope. I didn't get a scene where Wrecker was confused. Did you guys?
No, just
no.
a
I didn't
sad,
see one.
angry scene. 2 episodes for him. Yeah.
did
I
he
don't know.
look confused when they got double crossed?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
He
Just
was,
mad.
yeah.
I
he was
feel
immediately stunned, and he started running after the troopers. They just started stunning him more. So,
Right.
he had a progression of living life a different way now. So I
Yeah.
think that caused his confusion of gone. So Tex was more prominent up front for us, but at the same time, Wrecker was changing as well too, especially living there at the place and doing
Yeah.
normal
I'm
stuff
Pabu.
all the time. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's see. New building or ship that is from old concept art. No new building or ship, but we did still have those old concept art stormtroopers. So
Yeah, we
that's
did.
going to count. Go ahead and mark it off, folks. We did not, unfortunately, have Cody.
Yep.
Wrecker hit something. Wrecker shot something. Wrecker kicked something. Wrecker was Wrecker all over this
Yeah,
place.
he was awesome.
Wrecker blew stuff up. It was great. Wrecker was
Right.
in full force. We did not have any attacking alien creatures, so no there. Omega tells someone what to do. Indeed, she did, but as we've seen in the last 5 episodes, it's gotten to the point where that doesn't bother us anymore.
Because it's
Right,
not
right.
telling coming from some little kid that doesn't know what they're doing,
Right.
whining about
Right.
it. It's, hey, I've got an idea. This might work, guys. She's
Right,
part of the
right.
team. It makes sense, and I'm in. I'm
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. A sad Omega scene. Absolutely. We got the saddest of Omega scenes.
Oh,
Probably made
my
Chris cry.
God,
Uh-huh.
It did.
I did not see. Did you guys see any vintage action figures? I did not. We didn't.
I didn't
spend a
either.
lot of
Even
time.
even when we went back to Sid's, we didn't see anything.
I don't think anybody was in there. Yeah.
I was also thinking about Pabu whenever but no, Pabu was in the last episode. No, they weren't. They started off on Pabu.
They started, but just leaving.
Just Fee was there. Yeah, just Fee. So no vintage action figures.
Matt Logic with a bingo.
Of course. I knew it. I knew it. And we're only halfway through. All right. Omega doesn't listen. That is correct. Omega did not listen.
Yes. Okay, good. Yep.
Yeah. The crew splits up to buy some time. In both episodes, they split up to buy time or just split up.
Tech falling to his death, technically splitting up to buy time. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. To save them, they split. Yes.
100%. 100%. I know. Ouch. Too soon.
Okay. Rampart was not in it, but again, we had Krennic, which is 10 times better than Rampart anyway. So
100%.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't count. Mentions that they're in debt. No, but I think all mentions of debt to Sid is paid in full in spades.
Yep. Set the stun. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. They were randomly stunning people. And then they were shooting people. So it was a matter of who they were aiming at and when. Yeah. But they stunned, they shot.
They did full on blast stormtroopers, but then they did stun some too. Yeah.
They did. Tarkin, we got a fistful of Tarkin in this episode, so that was awesome. Yeah. I don't think Hunter smiled at all.
No, there was no smiling.
No. Omega outsmarts someone. I didn't really see Omega outsmarting anybody. What about you guys?
No, I don't think she ever got a chance to.
Because she got caught. So
yeah. Rex did not make an appearance. He was mentioned several times, but did not make an appearance.
Right. And that really surprises me. I do want to come back to Rex.
Yeah.
Same.
We did say that if they're mentioned, we would count them.
Okay, well, if that's the case, if we want to go there, Rex was mentioned several times. Do we want to go there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Don got a bingo, and also Gavin Connor got a bingo.
Finally, Gavin got a bingo. Nicely done, guys. All right. All right, Sid did clown a Bad Batch member. She mentioned goggles, and it's like, okay, you just need to stop.
Right.
Hey, guys, do you think the mission went bad?
It always goes bad.
From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view. Yeah.
So, yes, the mission did go bad. Crosshairs did make an appearance.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Palpatine, but there was Krennic, which was, almost as good.
I'm going to bring that up again.
Whoa. He got a mention, though, didn't he?
He did get mentioned. Yeah.
He did get mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Palpatine got mentioned. So, all right, there we go. All right, so there you go, folks. We have...
and now I want to butt heads about this Krennic versus Yularen thing.
Go for it.
Yeah, no, I like Yularen. So
I like Krennic.
That's all.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
We saw Krennic do so much more cooler things and just be a relatively cool bad guy in Rogue One. We haven't seen a whole lot of Yularen other than animated. I mean, he said a couple of lines in Andor.
I haven't seen a whole lot of Ahsoka, but animated.
Saw 2 episodes of Ahsoka.
2 episodes?
We've got a whole TV show. Let's just say we're not getting a show called Yularen anytime soon.
Yet.
Oh, nor Krennic.
Yes.
Nor Krennic.
Nah, but Krennic, I bet you Krennic's coming. I hope Krennic comes back. I love that dude. I think he kicked ass in Rogue One.
He's a whiny bitch. Yularen's a stud. Yularen runs shit. From Republic through Empire. Yularen was awesome.
All right,
I think you're both wrong, and we're going to get a spin-off of Rex.
I'm in.
It's all gonna. No, it's gonna be Rampart. It's gonna be Rampart.
I think Rex is unanswered. We keep getting this. He's on a special mission. He's on a special mission, and maybe that's the whole Cody thing.
He's with Ahsoka the whole time. Yeah,
but I don't know. But I feel like they say that for a reason.
Yeah, when are we gonna get the Hearst Ramadi show? That's what I want to know.
Like for a spin-off, Ernie, or to show up in another show,
No, I think we're going to get an announcement of a tiny spin-off, maybe a couple episodes, maybe a couple. They said it too much. The exact same thing of,
6 episodes.
Rex is on a special mission, and we do not know what happened to Cody. So we may even see the death of Cody, or maybe Cody goes and has a family like the other one who lives, out in the farm. We don't know, but I think we're some type of special little presentation of. They said it too much. They kept on. And it was distinct of how Oh no, sorry, Rex is on a special mission. When
Unless that
he
was just
should
to
be the
keep-
one running this.
Or was that just keeping us quiet because they knew we'd wonder, where's Rex?
Or-
Where's Rex? You know?
Or just having
Maybe.
something.
But I like the
yeah.
idea of having another short one just to catch
I'm
up
down.
on our
That'd be cool.
clones, right? Not the batch. But instead
Yeah,
of doing
correct.
like they would do like in Boba Fett where they put in 2 episodes of Mando in there, right? Instead of doing that with Bad Batch, throw in a 6-episode short or less, or
Right.
4 episodes, whatever, of our clones. That's a great idea.
Sure,
That'd be
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Make them do it, Ernie. Didn't you tell
Yeah.
Dave that?
Yeah, I mean, you got
I'll text him.
things.
So
well,
to all
yeah.
of our members, all of our Patreon members that have been playing along in Bad Batch Bingo, what we want to do, we were all talking about this, is give you 1 week to tally up all your bingos. Send us a note through our Patreon account how many bingos you got, and what we're going to do is probably the wheel. Next week we'll bring back the wheel. Each one of your bingos gets you an entry into the wheel draw, and then one of you will be walking away with this PulseCon Black Series Wampa right here.
Yes.
So there you go.
Because then you can
So if
join
you
us
like that,
in
Wampa
stomping that like button.
right
Let's
now.
go.
Everybody,
You have your very own Wampa to do it with. But so yeah, let's just take this time right now before we transition to Mandalorian to make sure everybody is subscribed that hasn't subscribed and liking this episode and leaving a comment even after the episode's dropped. So
There are 18 of you, 20 of you. There's 20 plus of you watching right now. Every one of you should be giving us that thumbs up.
nice. And since Chris has brought out the Grogu,
Let's move it.
we're gonna bring out the Mando. So okay, this is the show that's getting
before
the-
we get started on this,
Oh, there goes my bubble.
my Kevin's wife has told me that she wants to do your makeup and turn you into Gorian Shard, Darth Moocher, because she thinks with your beard you would make an excellent Gorian Shard. So
I'm down.
we're gonna
with
make that work.
I'm down with that. Like, but he died such a cowardly death. But no,
No
he went down with
he
his-
went down with his
was-
ship. He didn't run.
He did.
That was exactly
He
what he
did.
should do.
That was badass.
He has one of the we're jumping way ahead now. Just jump into it. Gorian Shard has one of the coolest voices in this show. I like just listening to him talk, and I'm like, this is a cool villain, like a cool
Who does his
villain.
voice? Do you know? Like, is
no,
it
I
a
never
known
even
actor?
looked. But it's a cool
look.
pirate voice. Like it totally works, and I
Yeah,
love it.
no.
I love that character. I'm really
okay.
upset he went down.
The whole pirate thing coming back full circle was brilliant. I love it. Everything I loved every time they went to the ship, that his capital ship there. I forgot what it was they called it or whatever.
The Corsair.
You just saw new characters, and the Ugnaught that had like the full on.
Smee.
Yeah,
It was Smee. And I loved it. I called it out. As soon as they turned and showed him, I was like, yes, me. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Like, it was great.
Swashbuckler thing. I mean, yeah, it was like I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. I love the costuming in this. It was so good. It was so fun. It had that aspect of Star Wars that is missed sometimes. That like the unfamiliar characters and the familiar and unfamiliar, right? Like the whole pirates and the scum and villainy.
I like that they use the skiff guards from our childhood as mostly pirates, right?
Yes.
I just love that those characters stay consistently as the main pirates.
Yeah.
Okay, Gorian Shard is played surprisingly. I did not see this coming at all. His name is Nonzo Enozi, and he sounds like he would be a familiar voice. He's got that voice; it's very recognizable. But he's the big guy right there.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I've seen him in a few shows, but I did not.
Oh,
expect
he was in Game of Thrones. He was at the land where he was the fake guy. Remember, he pretended to be rich when he brought Khaleesi in.
Oh,
Isn't that him?
yes. The one that got locked in the vault.
on Karth.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyway,
the
sorry, I
name,
don't want to go that far, but
yeah.
yeah, he got locked in the vault. Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right, had to go into my other geek files.
Yeah, his character is so much like Davy Jones.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Davy Jones.
Yeah,
it's
it's just
Sigmund the
TV
Sea Monster. It's
Yeah.
Swamp Thing. It's all the above, man.
Some of the best
cool.
that the hologram with him and Grief Karga was some of the best hologram period in Star Wars,
Yeah.
right? I mean, when you looked at it, I mean, there's a couple cool holograms you see through the movies and stuff, but that was better than the sequels when they did the holograms. Even the Snokehead.
It was like
it came really
the
well
Snokehead.
done.
The Snokehead in The Last Jedi was similar.
Right,
It's
right.
Giant with a lot of
Yeah.
disruption in it.
And you know
Looks
that's-
really ominous.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Like I always think, like, is there a setting when you call in, like, make me dangerous, and it's like boom, like, or is he
Danger
like
level.
right on the? He's like right on there to be intimidating, because I love that interaction when he called Grief Karga out, and you were just like,
oh yeah.
we're not asking, we're coming,
I love that the droid said, "Hey, should I start negotiations?" Like, this is normal. Right? Like, through their past, this whole time, pirates come, you negotiate, give him money, get him out. And he was like, you know what, none of this anymore. I dig Grief where he's gone,
The only thing about the whole pirate thing was I just kept seeing Galaxy Quest. The whole time was Galaxy Quest for me. It really was. Like, his voice, the intimidation where he leaned forward, and he almost looked like just
bad
with
guy
plans added to him. Yeah, the bad guy from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Which was great. I'm not saying it in that way, but that's what I kept having it.
His mouth didn't necessarily match up with his voice perfectly,
Almost
especially
puppet-like.
during the transmission. It was great. It was like
Yeah.
there was a slight delay. I love it.
I like the
really
fact
good.
that this was called out too in the dialect, that more of a pirate nation.
That made me super happy, because
Yeah.
having a whole pirate means even with Shard dead, you've got more. Because he was, okay, this is what hit me today. He's the pirate king, right? We know a 700-year-old pirate queen. And Maz Kanata's a pirate queen. So why isn't she should show up in something like this, right? At some point, she's old. She has the place at her castle. Everything. There's zero reason. Makes as much sense, if not more, than Hondo now.
Yeah.
I know
That's
there's
awesome.
zero chance of this happening, but imagine switching Pirates of the Caribbean to this Pirates of the Galaxy.
Like once
would
a
be
month.
fun.
All they got to do is put the mask over him.
I don't recall this. Miss Sunflower says, wasn't Pirate Nation mentioned in Aftermath?
I don't remember it being Pirate Nation, but they did have pirate queens, and and that was also in Last Shot. They remember when they would they kept repeating a word or a name of a ship in Last Shot, Scott, and it got annoying. I know we talked about it, but they were with the pirate queen, and I can't remember her name. But there's another one there, same time frame too.
Yeah.
Because this is around Last Shot, maybe 3 years later, but
Yeah.
anyway, there's a lot of pirates. We got a lot of pirates. This Pirate Nation is cool. That opens up a lot of shit. Because remember, the rumor was that Gorian Shard's gang was the villains for Skeleton Crew.
Right.
So either that's not true, or it's Vane in a new gang, or this gap in between. There's been time. Skeleton Crew takes place in between those episodes.
Right. That's what I'm
Episode 1
saying.
and
The
now.
Skeleton Crew, it doesn't have to be real time, and yeah, Star Wars isn't never real time. So.
And there was a jump again. I mean, we had a time jump in this couple episodes. I feel like, right? Because where Karga is now,
Seems
how
like
much
it,
Bo
yeah.
has changed, all these things. I feel
Yeah,
like we've
because
had
the
a little
pirates
bit of
took
a jump.
over Navarro and how they were, drunken in the streets, taking over everything.
That takes a minute.
And then displacing Grief Karga and everybody, and then calling. It's so funny how like I actually liked Carl Weather. Grief Karga's characters was great. He's like this is under New Republic, rule, and
And we all know it's not.
yeah. Even Shard was like,
Get off it.
yeah, exactly.
Not by my chart, Chief.
And then he makes a plea to them too. And then he makes a plea to them, like, "Hey, we're under attack here from pirates and all that." And that,
Okay, yeah. Right to you, New Republic. I'm done with the New Republic, right? I mean, how is that? What a messed up deal. Although, is that meant for us to think that? Because here we are, right? They're not part of the Republic. They've decided not to be part of the Republic on purpose. Has made very clear that he doesn't want some bureaucracy telling him what to do. But when you need help, who's the first person you call?
Yeah, and he reaches out to Carson, and Carson takes it. It was what's her name who comes in and messes it up. Knows there's the cloning facility there. Oh, I was so pissed off at her. I'm like,
little-
There was a cloning facility there. That thing blew up, but still, there's something.
But what
I
else
think
is
there's
there?
familiar
something
with.
there.
Yeah, she's familiar with.
They were
Navarro
quick to remember, delete it, get the information out. We saw the Snoke stuff. I don't think that's the only one. So to her eavesdrop and then put that in his head of everything and not being able to help, it's like, ooh.
That dialogue between Carson Teva and her was phenomenal. On what an imperial thing to say. She's all, I hear that stuff all the time. But the best effing part, almost in the whole episode, was when he said, "You're not sorry we caught you." you know,
Yeah.
that is awesome because that's like half of it. We talk about there's good guys and bad guys in the imps. There
That's
are
right.
people out here that are bad that are pretending to be reformed,
100%.
you know, liberated, and
The-
it's
the-
totally not. What a cool
And
boot
you
right
know
there.
what? And we're bitching about the New Republic and stuff. But what do you do when when the government collapses in the entire galaxy? Now that's the New Republic, and you're responsible for a lot of lives. Like what is the protocol there to integrate the old regime and the new regime? And I feel like it's so displaced and as structured. Like when Carson Teva was on, did he go to Coruscant first, right?
Mhm.
Was it Coruscant? And then the
that's where you met them. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, they got new banners, they got new buildings, they got or these whatever. But I feel like that's so fragile and new that they're trying all these systems, and this is why. And again, this gets into like a lot of people's complaints about Mandalorian season 3 is it's starting to explain the sequel. It's starting to bring in the First Order, and it's going to be like, look, the First Order rose because the New Republic could not take control, and the way they're doing it is like they're integrating all the ex-imps without the vetting, or the vetting was on fast pace or whatever, to where you got these infiltrators everywhere.
Mhm.
It's doomed to fail. Like the New Republic was, it's just a placeholder, you know.
I don't necessarily think it's the First Order just yet. I think that it's he knows that something's out there, that something's coming. What I think is going to end up happening is this whole thing we're all assuming is coming is the, of course, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and you know whatever that entails. Once that's defeated, is Carson then going to sit back and be like, "Oh, okay, well we're good now," not knowing that all the time in the way back you've got these cloning facilities, you've got Palpatine. Will that desire to stop what's out there end whenever Thrawn is taken down?
Well,
Yeah,
I think
I agree 100%. I don't think we're First Orders was so quiet in the most upper levels of the post-Empire people. That's not what we're dealing with yet. That'll be years down the line.
No, this,
So-
like I said, this is the structure of the New Republic that's going to lead into their downfall. I remember the New Republic was destroyed. It never fell apart, right? It was destroyed by the First Order. But with Carson Teva, this is what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to discover Thrawn and stuff like that out there, and I think he's going to be destroyed with the information he discovers. So it's like it'll never get back to the core worlds because, you know. But he's going to uncover the plot that he's out there, you know, trying to piece together eventually. I mean, this couldn't happen, you know, years from now, but I'm just saying eventually. I think that's going to happen. His band and whatever, and then Leia is going to be involved in. She's going to know. They're not going to listen to her. Blah 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 blah. We got the resistance and all that stuff.
So when Grief called for help, Carson was on an outpost, like a base.
Yeah.
And we see this base here, and you see him in this front section here in front of Carson. This trio
heroes.
here. You got Dave Filoni, Deborah Chow, and Rick Fuck Your Mama. Right in the front. That's his last name. And then Carson there talking
pronounce it right.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. And Pelly over there with Carson.
Yeah.
Pelly. Snaggletooth Pelly. That's where Pelly's tooth went. It went to Snaggletooth. That's Snaggletooth Pelly.
Snaggletooth Pelly. Everybody has a doppelganger on a different planet.
And here's the thing. This is not just. I mean, yes, it's a big cameo, but all three are these characters that we've seen in action as a X-Wing pilot in the show. So it's like Trapper Wolf's there. I don't remember their names. I don't remember Deborah Chow's like X-Wing name, but I mean, it's just such a cool thing.
And they're on Adelphi Station, which is cool. We've heard Adelphi Station mentioned several times in the past, which is pretty cool. And then up walks this lug right here.
Come on.
What are you talking about?
So
you
good.
serious?
I want
so good.
Let's just put it out there right now. Chris, I asked this, and Chris found this. That is Zeb. He's in the credits.
Yeah.
If you look at the credits,
Yes.
it says Zeb in there. So 100% confirmed. Zeb is in it, live action. And Pitt, I want to know
all day. It was same actor, same everything. It was
yeah,
Australian
the
accent
sayings,
and everything,
dude. The Pit, how excited are you with this Zeb being it? Because we've talked about the Ahsoka series being like the Rebel season 5, and where's Zeb, right? Like, okay, is he with what's his name? I lost his name already. the ex-Imperial
Oh,
dude.
Just saying that you lost it made me lose it. Callus.
Calla, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had it.
Yeah.
I just had it. You know, like where are these people? We know that Sabine's gonna come and Hera and all that stuff, and which is really cool too. Is trying to put 2 and 2 together about this, and that being Zeb. I'm like, you know what that means? Because so he's wearing a blue jumpsuit, and I'm assuming that's from Blue Squadron, which was in Rogue One, which Hera and the Ghost were in Rogue One at the Battle of Scarif. So I'm
Yep.
assuming Zeb was with them at the whole time. As Blue Squadron, and Blue Squadron survived, you know, to become what Zeb's a part of. So
People were doubting if they could pull off Zeb and Ahsoka, and Mandalorian was
Yeah.
like, hold my beer. Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no kidding. Because I
Dude.
had my doubts. How do you pull this off? I mean, I don't. At this point, when I'm looking at it, is that CGI? Is that a person?
It's
What the hell
perfect.
is
Yeah,
it?
dude,
The light coming through his ears
I know.
Yeah.
I
in
know.
that shot. It's stupid.
Ernie, we need to ask Paul. Like, was that? How did this work?
You got it. Yeah, I can't wait. Unfortunately, we were going to talk with him earlier, and
Yeah,
he was having a viewing party, so he didn't make it.
yeah.
He didn't
Oh, I
make it
bet
to
he
my
was.
show. But yeah, he
I
is
would
just
love
so
to know
stoked.
though. Like,
I was
would
talking to
really
him all
love to know.
night, and he was so
Yeah.
happy, and
He shined in
how
this, and
hard it
I'm-
is to
Yeah.
keep all this,
Yeah,
locked
I
away
bet.
and everything. And it was amazing because it's Zeb, and it's like
Yep.
there's
Yeah.
like no, like we're saying, of how did they pull it off, and the only thing that it's just Zeb, like there
Right.
he is.
Yeah, like he
Yeah,
exists.
Right. Yes.
They
Yeah.
made a Zeb.
Yes, and it's like
Yeah.
there he is, and it was so good, the way that he talked, the way that he is,
Bro,
and then it
yeah.
goes to the story. Like there's no question. It's like, of course he'd be there. Like
Yeah.
he's helping. Okay, what are we gonna do? And then then your mind starts going of, okay, what's going on with the rest of the crew? Where's everybody at? Because you know
Yeah.
he has to be there. And then what's going on with Hera? It was just, oh my god,
He
the
was the-
conversation that they have
Yeah.
is so important too. I mean, that whole asking, "Can I borrow your projection?" That's like,
Yeah.
that was so hilarious, right? I mean, this is their bar. This is their freaking cheers.
R&R.
Everybody outside, the music switch, like
Oh, the music
like we
was
said,
cool too,
Filoni
man.
and
It
every
reminded me
yeah,
of-
Filoni and everybody's there, and then he gets this message, and he feels he has to help, and Zeb steps in, like, you know what you got to do, and it's like you're so into it of, oh my god, it's Zeb, but at the same time you're like, yeah, Zeb's right. So what are we gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
It puts
Zeb
you
is
in-
probably the. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, Zeb's a rebel, and going along and that whole thing, it's the perfect thing that he would tell Cars, and like he's like, look, damn politics, politics be damned. You know what you got to do, right? You got to follow through on this. You got to do, and it's perfect coming from, like I said, Zeb, because if it was somebody else, I'd be like, but we know his backstory, or we know where he came from and how hard he fought. And it was great. I did not expect this. I didn't hear any rumors on it. I mean, this was whole, like I said, I was telling the guys for 5 minutes, I was just like this,
yeah,
like just pointing at the screen, like
yeah,
there's Zeb,
Yeah.
like we have
So
him,
cool.
and I couldn't let this go. I couldn't put my finger down. I was just
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? It was a
It's
great
nuts.
cameo /
Whenever we get the
everything.
behind the scenes show, which we always do with every show that comes, I want them to focus on how they made Zeb, because
Yeah, that would be great, dude.
I
Because-
can't wait
Yeah.
to see it.
The thing is, Zeb is probably, for sure to this point, the hardest adaptation of anything to live action, right? I mean, you've seen Cad Bane. Cad Bane looked fine. I mean, you
Yeah,
could
I
probably
loved
nitpick it a little bit,
Right.
but it was fine. Ahsoka, easy. Cobb Vanth was obviously easy. All these things were, Black Chrysanthemum, from a comic to there, it's easy. It's a Wookiee, right? But
Right.
you throw in something like Zeb, dude, and we've seen Lasat's in the sequels, right? That Lasat in is it in Kanata's Castle? I think there's a Lasat.
Is there?
There was a flash, real quick. Yeah,
it's
it
a
was flash.
scraggly, nasty looking coyote looking.
Oh,
It was
that thing.
Lasat.
Yeah.
And I'm like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so when I started thinking about Zeb in this show, I'm like, they can't do it like that. So it's gonna be weird. But it didn't. I blew my mind, dude. I can't. That's the
was.
hardest thing.
Like-
That means Thrawn's easy. That means everything else is easy.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Zeb, the Matt Logic, Zeb was not on my bingo card for this show.
No,
not
it
at all.
was,
Cool.
And
Joey,
it's an
how did you
easy-
feel, Joey? Did you call it? Did you see him?
I
Were
was
you like, did you know?
like Mark? I was looking at the TV. I was like, no,
yeah.
yeah.
no.
And that's
It-
what's so
it-
great about it. Nobody could call this.
It
Nobody
took a
could
while
have
to
said
process
Zeb.
for me. Like,
Yeah,
wait
exactly.
a second, and then
Yeah.
and then you're like, Ahsoka's gonna be awesome.
by the time,
like I just
by
kept
the time
seeing like,
it sunk in, he's gone. I was like, oh.
I was like, the Ahsoka show, dude, is gonna be so good. Like
I had seen
one of those-
I had seen plenty of leaks, and that wasn't one of them. I knew the Mythosaur was coming. I knew that Pauldron was coming. I knew a whole lot of stuff was coming already that we've seen. I did not see Zeb coming. It was
See, and I knew something
It's such
big
a-
happened in it because I had just got to work, and there's another guy there that watches Mandalorian, and so right away he was like, "Have you saw Mandalorian yet?" I'm like, "Nah, I haven't seen it yet." Dude, someone big shows up. I was like, "Come on, man." He's like, "I'm not gonna tell you." He goes, "All I'm gonna say is, dude." He's like, I was like,
and I gotta say this too, real fast. It's a seamless introduction to a character that we all know and everybody can get behind. Like anybody who doesn't know this particular character, this is how you do it. Like boom, and then you get into the Ahsoka series. It's seamless for them, and then they can like with dialogue and stuff, they can get the gist of everything that we've known. Oh, he was part of the Rebel, team back in the day. And with Hera and all that stuff. I mean, it's good
after Scott gets his point. Go ahead. And I gotta.
It's one of those alien beings, one of those alien creatures that's so easy to make it look goofy, with his big beady eyes and bright purple skin. And if you look at Rebels, and you look at what they've done in the future, further on with character development, bringing like Ahsoka into live action, how they were able to adapt it, it works. And I was so afraid that if we saw Zeb, it was just going to look goofy on screen, and this one just it looked perfect.
Grand Inquisitor.
So look, we've been that's the worst one. For sure. We talked a couple times about how do you get Sabine, how does Sabine make sense in this show? She just did right there.
Exactly.
By having Zeb talk to Carson.
Exactly.
That made Sabine work.
Where did Carson go? And this can bring us into who he
tells
went
Zeb.
to go
Zeb
help.
tells Sabine goes and helps. Right?
But I mean,
goes to them.
But also Carson Teka went directly to the Mandalorians to help
was
Navarro.
Another blow away.
That was awesome.
You know what I mean?
A whole nother.
And so, like, to Chris's point,
let's talk.
He knows who's friends and who's all that stuff. And damn, this is awesome.
To see him fly in, and I'm like, are you serious? So like, I'm thinking time has gone over, right? Okay, so him and Mando are friends. Yeah, and then the way that he calls it out, and he's so respectful right here, right? He knows what's going down. He knows them. He mentions the whole thing. Yeah, Mandalorian knows him. But then to say, I have somebody who's part of your team
inside,
and it's like stupid Peli Moto. Like I thought she was talking crap.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, me too, dude.
She said it.
The rebellion,
and we're like, oh, okay, right. Yeah, you got a rebellion war hero here, and then he says it, and he's like, thanks, R5. I'm like, oh my god.
He doesn't remember anything from 4 years before A New Hope.
Right.
So that's where his whole story takes place. This rebellion stuff. His memory was wiped at that point.
Exactly. And again, how the books
from
are
a certain
important.
point of view.
The best certain point of view version. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I love the looks. I can get this look right here on Mando. Right.
It's so good, dude. Like
what the hell, dude.
Yeah, he goes, hey, we just found this. Basically, we just found this place. Now they're going to force us to relocate.
Oh, man. He says, we're going to have to move. And then freaking heavy-ass Mando over there says, or we could kill him.
Yeah. We could kill him.
Take him, dude. That was awesome. And then the best part about that was Carson didn't flinch.
No.
Not at all.
Right? He just looked at him.
Right.
So, yeah, I heard it a second ago. Great character. This was the best... obviously the best episode of his because he had the most in it, right? But his delivery in this scene right here was outstanding as well.
Yeah,
just outstanding delivery. Like Ernie said, the respectful part, but just the way he, confident, respectful. I'm here to do this. I'm meaning you no harm. Even at the end, hey man, I know you're going to move anyway, but I'm not going to tell anybody about this.
It shows so much of he's just not an X-wing pilot, right? Like in order to go through this and what you're saying and what you're doing, like you said, like the whole not flinching and everything like that there is way more to this character and him being the Sherlock. I mean, we called that from a long time ago. Yeah. From his whole the hints were out there, right? Like I said, and now I'm so glad that they've gone through with it, and the way that they tied it together is just amazing. Again, Peli I thought was talking crap. And no, there it was, and that was his way to find him. And then yes, like you said, the end to say, I know you're still going to, but I'm not going to give you guys up. Right. Instead, I thought you should know to help your friend. Again, more character because, hey, this is wrong. I know we're wrong, not going to go help, but you can. So what are you going to do? That it was just amazing. So much
You're not going to let your... He didn't say, are you going to let your... He said, you're not going to let your friend die. And he was done. And man, and he's dead ass right. And then Mando said, he's right. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Fucking chills, dude, for days.
Yes.
I like what you said about there, but not just a pilot. He was more. With this demilitarization, we've watched the Imperials lose jobs and do jobs they're not supposed to be in, right? Pershing, later on, is doing a job he should not be doing.
Right.
Or
right.
before, I'm sorry, not later on, before. Was doing a job. Like, that could happen to the rebellion side, too. Right? These guys were doing jobs much higher. Like you said, he could have been the rebellion side of ISB, right? The intelligence side, the smart side, all this stuff, and have pilot background as well. He could be some kind of badass, but then with demilitarization, guess what, man? We just need patrol people. Because he just called them blue like they're cops now.
Oh my God, wasn't that not the best?
Yeah,
it really.
What do you want, blue? What do you need, blue? I was like, oh.
And I looked, and it goes right back to him, and he's in bright ass orange.
Yeah.
And I'm all,
yeah. But it's that of you're a cop.
I love it.
You're a cop, and I'm going to call you blue. And that was oh my God, I love that part. That was so good.
Carson,
it was good.
Carson is everything that Wedge Antilles should have been.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I was just about to.
I'm glad we're getting that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say, will Wedge and Carson team up at a certain point for this kind of investigating? Will Carson have to recruit for this? Because but it
won't be any OT characters.
Well, in my head, he's going to put some things together, especially what happened at the end of this episode. He's going to put some things together, and again, going to the New Republic is not working, so he's going to have to go to Leia and Organa at this, and Bail at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like I said, I'm hoping that Wedge is there. Wedge is an important part.
Did you say Bail?
Oh, he's dead. Sorry, Leia. Yeah, sorry.
He's been dead for a decade.
It's the props. Hey, sometimes I have a mush brain when the time frame. Yeah,
right. Where are we?
But Leia, especially Leia. You know what I mean? Like she's gonna have to.
Because you know that there has to be a reason there's a resistance, right? They built this for. I mean, don't get me wrong. It happened in Bloodline, really. Yeah, but there has to be things that happen. They had to be in talks already. And they have to have a backbone for it.
Well, the New Republic's going to have to dismiss this. They're going to have to dismiss it for that to even go forward, right? They're going to have to we uncovered a big thing going on in the galaxy, and they're going to be like, well, we don't have time for that. We got all this other stuff.
Yeah, everything's we're trying to get everything organized because in a leadership transition, because we go through this all the time at work, right? It's upheaval. Everything's a mess. Everybody's trying to figure out who's in charge of what's going on where. So this is a galactic scale. Right, there's 1 trillion people on Coruscant alone.
That's what I'm saying. Can you blame the Republic for being the way they are? I mean, can you really blame them? You know,
the demilitarization. I can blame them for that. That's stupid.
Sure,
it is stupid.
Yeah.
But at this point, Wedge is pretty much retired at this point because he went through some crap in the Aftermath books.
Yes,
and he never quite recovered from that. I think didn't he just go retire with Snap's mother and just
his leg was jacked up. He was old. You're right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So having Carson fill in fill that space, I love it. I think it's perfect. He's doing a great job.
I think he's doing better than Wedge would have been. I'm loving it. This Ranger of the New Republic storyline in here is working for me. Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Hey, let's get to these speeches, man. Let's get into here to talking about Mando bringing up a speech to these people.
Yeah, this is great, dude. Like, okay.
From this point on, I have nothing but chills, right? Like from Carson Teva's talk on.
From Zeb on.
Yeah, true, dude.
And it all makes sense. It all makes perfect sense.
I love it all.
You know, he's almost like, look, what are we doing? What are we guys? We're going to live in this cave, or we're going to just, kind of get picked off one by one by wild creatures.
Yeah, no more sewers.
I love that they have a talking stick. The talking stick is awesome.
Yeah, it's like, everybody, all eyes on me, attention, respect is given, right? And that whole aspect, it's great. They're very religious, cultural group and very structured group, and I love it that they have rules and they follow it.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Especially Din. Good Lord.
Yeah. Oh, Din's
he drinks the juice, man. That dude is in.
He's Jim Jones of the Mandalorians.
Yeah. But yeah, that's so. But hold on. So on his speech, asking for help and talking about Grief Karga and bringing that back up around. That was just an emotional bit. Sorry, I was on the wrong bit there.
Right.
the light again. Get these guys out of these tunnels and bring it to the light.
Yes.
And we start thinking about these kids, right? They weren't dealing with a whole bunch of kids before. Now it's having our kids in the light. This guy is really dad mode right now, right? Having our kids playing light. But then I started thinking, well, maybe at this point I was already thinking it before. What happens later? Is he wanting to take helmets off, like live in the light once again? Are we
That's
in the
what I
darkness in
thought
these
so
helmets?
too, right? Because I'm like, wait a second.
Because they play outside in the sun.
Right.
They do already. They were out there in the first episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that it doesn't happen, but the only thing is they have their helmets on, most of them.
I don't know. I don't even know if he even would even have the guts to bring that up. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a weird thing. But I mean, the armor did later, but and
Yeah,
maybe that's
exactly. It
what
was
made
so
maybe
weird.
that's what made the armor kind of make that switch to bow later on when we get to it. Maybe
it
this
was
is the
weird.
where thing.
But the better speech was Scott was going
yeah.
on to this one.
Paz
The better
was,
speech was Paz, because he started out this first 30 seconds of this speech tearing into it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
this freaking guy again. Every time with this freaking guy.
I'm like, man, they're gonna go outside and go to it, dude. This is gonna go. But then I was like, this sucks. I thought he was turning, and then he pulls out the why would we do this for this little youngling and this and that because we're Mandalorians.
I love it.
Oh shit. Yeah, super chills, man. He called out Din for helping his son. He called out Bo-Katan. These people are people he really didn't like, and now he has respect for him. I do want to say this too. All of a sudden, we're liking him, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
He also has a kid now.
Yeah, I thought he was going to eat it later on in the episode too. By the way, when he got pinned down, I was like, "There he goes too."
No, this kid's shown a closeness to it. This guy's shown a closeness to a kid. All of a sudden, he's likable and he's turned good to us. Right?
Bye,
Goodbye.
Paz.
Later, Paz. Yeah, you're out. Yeah, you're about to get teched. It's your tech turn.
Yeah, right.
Is that our new term? That's our new term. Everybody's going to get teched.
Yeah, you can get teched.
Tick.
Yeah. Teak.
Too soon.
But great speech there, dude. Some freaking great ass speech. Every Mandalorian leader, Ham here and Din and the armor and Bo.
Was amazing in this
Bo is amazing in this whole series, dude.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so.
I don't know how.
feel,
I don't
isn't it?
understand how we could get to this kind of like emotional talk about this series, and not everybody's there. Like
I know.
This doesn't make sense to me.
I told you, I went back and watched all Bo-Katan, right, and all the animation.
Yeah.
And she wasn't what we were thinking. She's freaking awesome, and she's Ahsoka's homie. I completely forgot about season 7 of Clone Wars, and just watched it the other day. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, why am I not just? Why do we ever think she was going to be anything but awesome?
Right.
And to this point, this whole speech here, she's not so much the leader; she's the general, right? There are people, you know what I mean? She's a tactician. She's the warrior. Yep. That's what she is to me. So when they even talk later about uniting, she can unite, but she can't lead.
And this is all, like I said, this is all being observed by the armor. Again, it's all where the armor is now looking at her clan as like, we can't just be this little group, later on when we get to that point. It's all getting there. It's all gathering, and the armor is mine. This is what I'm thinking, because I mean, in my head, she was kind of dismissive of Bo before, and just kind of like, "Hey, by Creed, you're here." But now I think it's this whole I'm gonna see this restructured thing going on. So
what's neat was so we're kind of ahead of ourselves here with the armorer, but
but I think
I know it all mixes. Sure. That was neat. So it kind of shows us that last week it wasn't that she was dismissing what she was saying; she just needed time to digest it too.
That could be it. Yeah, sure.
Which is really super smart to do in the show, because Bo needed time. It's an emotional thing, man. You're seeing a larger than life animal that's been gone for centuries, that only exists in legends in EU, right? That shouldn't be real. It's not canon. All this stuff's going on. She has to digest it too, because she's a big believer, and she's all this is. She even said, "It was taught to me that this was a legend, and we just followed it." Right? Again, I brought up biblical type stuff. You get told that, and you get taught that, but if you see it, you're not going to believe it.
The armor said it too.
Same thing, right? So it's really, really cool how that goes. And
Gordon, the mythosaur changed everything. It did. It changed everything, and you're right. You're right about that. As far as I'm like, before I'm thinking, what's the end game on both Bo and the armor? I think it's those two are the catalyst for Mandalorians moving forward. My whole thing, since we're here, is Din's role. You know what I mean? Like, is that spelled? And we'll get to it later. But is that trouble for Din?
I almost thought that when the two women got together there at the end. The music was kind of ominous, but I'm like, no. I don't want to see anything bad with these people. I want to see these as honorable, good, and they're all a team. That's how I want to see the Mandalorians right now.
Yeah.
Besides the ones that are working for the Empire. Right, I want these guys to be a tight-knit group.
I 100% agree.
And I see it as a clan of 3. They all start going Beskar, Chrome, all 3 of them.
Sure,
Grogu,
if that's going to
Din.
be a shared power thing, cool. But if Armor is telling Bo, you could be the ruler. You could bring back Mandalore and the ruler.
You can
There's
unite
only
them.
one thing missing.
No, she didn't say rule. She said unite.
There's one thing missing on her though. Is the Darksaber.
That's not uniting. That's leading. That's ruling. She can unite them without the Darksaber. She can bring them all
without the
together.
Darksaber.
Yeah, she's not ruling, man. She's bringing them together to talk, to bring them, unite them.
Din
Din
can
can raise it and rule them.
Yeah,
She can bring together the people that wear the helmets and don't wear the helmets because she walked in both lights. So she can bring them all together to that location, to Navarro, in front of the armor and in front of the wielder of the Darksaber.
Yes.
She can gather them.
so it's like a
and they can
council
lead.
now. It's almost like a
Yeah,
council.
that's kind of how I see it. Yeah, kind of like a council. Well, Din's gonna lead it though, man. Din's the Darksaber. Unless he loses it and then somebody else takes it, Din's ruling Mandalore.
Well, that's where I was like,
I don't see that happening until we actually see him get control of it. They've been showing way too much that he doesn't, and that last scene to show when he was trying to fight those creatures and he couldn't do it, and the way that Bo came in and saved him so smooth with that butter cut on that robot and everything like that. I think it may take where we almost see Grogu get taken out and his heart gets into it, that he needs to feel it, that we see that. And that could be in front of everybody and be that changing point, right?
Yeah.
you know, it's just funny how like certain aspects of when we start thinking about and theory crafting about the future of Din and the Mandalorians and Grogu also moving. To me, it's like a fluid motion, always changing. Like I've always had these like where I said, okay, council. Is the armor and going to tell Bo like you need to challenge Din to complete the circle? I'm just throwing it out there. And then what's Din's role? Is Din and Grogu going to have to split from the Mandalorian creed and start this journey on their own as the clan of 2 and explore more of Grogu's force abilities, kind of like a separate thing, as the Mandalorians grow to this government empire? Share, you know what I mean? Like going. So there's a lot of things. That's why I was like going with the armor, saying, "Look, there's one thing missing. I got you over here," and that dude's carrying it. You get that. You get this thing where you can unite all of Mandalore, and you're like you said, not rule, but you unite. But the saber is a heretic. You know, it's a you know they need. It's a symbol of them.
But she's sending her out without the Darksaber anyway.
She is.
They know the Darksaber exists. She's just out there to send the mess. She's spreading the gospel, brother. That's what she's doing.
No, I know,
we
but
have the chosen one. We have the chosen one.
Right.
Come back. We've seen the Mythosaur. The Darksaber's in the chosen one's hands. We're bringing it back. You know, I'm going to lead the military. That's basically her job. What will be, right? Okay, this is how I see it. It's like the armor. Somebody said the armor is passing the torch for her to take that role, which is possible. I see the armor as kind of hand of the king. Right, if I'm going to go to Game of Thrones, right? Ruling right now, there is no king, no queen, no anything. Ruling now until they find the right one, and then she starts making them and putting them in their places the way they're supposed to be for the right of the government, for the right of the rule. Right. So you put Din in the spot of the king, she's in the spot of the queen, or even sergeant at arms, leader of the guard, whatever the hell she's going to be, and Grogu basically a prince next in line. That kind of thing, you know, and that's a cool setup for their hierarchy. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that, like you said, like a council would be really cool.
Yeah,
you know?
and no romance, by the way. Saber's been saying no romance. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
we said that last week. Yeah, we said that last week. Where no, we don't need that showing up because they play well together, and that's exactly where they should stay.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening either. But
it's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting to say the least, and a lot of it's going to be reinforced on when we close out this today's talk. You know, about where things can go and stuff. So. But
hit that last one with Sabersmith. This will make a quick point. The only time she wanted it was when she had to get it from Gideon to help everybody back. Right. She never wanted it in the animation. She was always begrudgingly trying to give it to somebody else. Take it from Sabine. Remember, she didn't want it when Sabine gave it to her. She only took it at the very end because the people asked her to take it. She doesn't even want. She only wanted it from Gideon because he had it. He's an imp. He can't have it. She has to take it from him. Now that Din has it, she was a little upset and probably had to figure it out, but it's like she doesn't really want to rule. She never did.
like Gordon said, the mythosaur changed everything. I think she had this different ideology about like wave the Darksaber around and they'll come follow you, right? They'll do whatever you say. And that her attitude, since it's become a spiritual journey now instead of a right like
Yeah. No,
on
I get
paper.
it. Oh, she buys in because when she told her take off your helmet and you saw her face, Sakoff's face, she acted the shit out of that, right? That was like she was like completely like freaked out that she was being told to take off her helmet. Freaking awesome!
I was freaking out.
Me too. Dude.
Yeah.
What is she
I was
doing
freaking
to her?
out because I'm like, yo, what is going on? What she said to her up, like what? Yeah,
What's going on?
what is going on? And then when it was like,
first off, when Bo walked in there, did you notice that her hands first went to her holsters?
Oh,
and
no,
then they
I didn't.
went back to her back. They were just slowly going down to the holsters, and then she moved them and put her hands behind her back.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. I missed it.
Yeah,
it was a great subtle moment, and I'm like, oh shit.
yeah, it was very tense when Paz said the armor wants.
The
to see
whole
you know, it's like
episode was tense.
Yeah.
but that walk to the Lost Forge but okay, so that's how we got there. That's the aftermath of Navarro, of the Mandalorians liberating Navarro and the pirates. But so I know we jumped right into like the importance of, because again, to me it was fun fodder
It's
doing
plot,
this whole thing. It was
you
great,
know,
right?
just
Yeah,
plot.
exactly.
All right, jumping out the ship. That's dope as hell.
Oh yeah, another trailer scene, right? Like check, you know.
Yep.
I mean, you really just got to go there. Everything in this show is dope as hell.
Yeah.
The whole. Yeah, there you go. The
Dude.
Anselans out the broken window watching and laughing.
on.
I mean, come on, man.
They're so great. Like the whole sequence of events that
The monkey lizard.
the monkey is
pointing where to go. It's like, come
Look
on,
at
over there.
And then that lead immediately to possible ambush. Take cover.
Oh, dude, can you give me a first-person shooter with these guys?
Absolutely.
No doubt.
All day.
Come on, EA or whoever wants it, because EA doesn't own it no more. Yay! Any studio can make Star Wars games now just with approval instead of EA. Anyway,
awesome.
that's a whole thing. But yeah, so this whole sequence of events, you know, of getting rid of the pirates as they've taken over. So yeah, Ernie, there might have been some sort of time jump here for it to happen and marinate a little bit.
Yeah, I think it had to.
Gorian Shard going down with the ship, and it's the Mandalorian, and yeah, it was great, dude. I love it. It was
that's a great character. I don't have anything wrong with the way he looks. People trash him. I think he looks phenomenal.
I think it's
There's
just
a lot of
because
stupidity
it's
online
gimmicky, right? Like, you know, it's a Moss Man, you know, from
like
He-Man.
I said,
He's
the greatest
alien.
part was Smee.
Yeah,
You knew who that was.
Like, who's Smee? I don't know who Smee is.
Oh my God, from Peter
Smee
Pan,
from Peter
Captain
Pan.
Hook.
Oh, I got
And
it.
Shmee.
Yeah, I know who
Yeah,
you're
but
talking
that
about now.
Ugnaught is Shmee. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
Captain
I see it
Hook's little lackey right there is Smee from Peter Pan, and that's
Yeah.
him right there. The Ugnaught was
now.
Smee.
Man, I'm like, the only Shmee I know is Skywalker's mom. And
Skywalker,
that's
yeah,
Jack
Shmee.
Black, dude.
Oh yeah, no, Smee. So it's great. He's the.
Yeah.
And then there was
look up.
there was a
Disney
ward
Smee, you'll see it.
there was a warthog piloting the Corsair too originally.
Yeah.
Which
Uh-huh.
that was one freaky looking alien, but I loved it. I love the animal aliens. You know, you got dog people and
Yeah.
you got apparently warthog people and pig people, and it's just
so
freaking
far,
There's a
wrong.
wheel on a pirate ship.
Yeah, I know that was a
Yeah.
great touch. First off, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is there any human pirates
I haven't seen any.
that we've
I didn't
seen
see
or
any
heard
here.
of in Star Wars?
No, which again, to the point this season or every season now, you can kill these guys.
Right.
If they were human, you can't kill them.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, if you want to count Han Solo, I mean, he was a pirate and a smuggler.
But if-
you old pirate,
Yeah,
you know.
true. But they die, but those are different circumstances. And just war and fodder, right?
Yeah.
They go blasting things. Han's an emotional thing. Kanan's an emotional thing. It's a little different, right? But when you start blasting up pirates in the street or helmeted people, that's easier than, hey, it's a bunch of rebel
Sure.
in the Disney world, right? They did that in A New Hope, fine.
Yeah. No, it's just kind of like curious on it, you know.
But they look freaking great.
Oh, I love it, dude. It's so cool. Like I said, we're just one more step for Hondo. That's all. In Vane here, I think that's where he's gonna go to the Pirate Queen, like you said, or the syndicates or whatever is out there. I think we haven't seen the last.
Oh,
and Chris,
did
to
any-
the point, this could be the point where this character could be off to the Skeleton Crew instead of
Yes.
Corian.
Yeah, for sure.
And this guy, the makeup job on this particular on Vane is
I love
probably the best alien makeup I have seen in years.
Yeah.
The way it moves with his mouth, the way he's able to articulate it,
Yeah.
that is an incredible alien.
Rick Jones is saying there are human pirates on the ship. I didn't see any. That's why I didn't remember.
Cool.
I have to look closer, but
I guess I got to go watch it for a third time.
Hey, why not? I mean, pull my
I'll be
arm,
back.
Right?
But
yeah.
the
exactly.
whole
Miss
dog
Silver,
fight.
what is? Yeah.
That'd
It
be
was
cool.
a great sequence of events and strategy. Get the fighters off, and then Din's gonna handle them while Bo and the ground crew goes in there and starts cleaning house, and then and then Bo is out there flying around taking out the engines. And it was just a great. I was sitting there going this is fun.
Yeah,
This is really fun.
They worked out a tactical plan. They went through everything. That was awesome. 2 weeks in a row they've done that kind of thing, right? Where we've seen kind of planning. It was Imperial side too. We watched them pull him away.
That's right.
They
that
bombed
was
Bo's house, right? And now we see this. So that's a tit for tat they're getting ready for too, because who else does that kind of tactics?
Right.
They're going to start getting a tit for tat soon and going, hey, we're going to see that's how he's going to play. That's how the big bad guy's going to have to do it later.
Yeah, Gordon.
Yes.
He reminds me of Enemy Mine, Louis Gossett Jr. Yes, that's a great movie.
That's a great movie.
Oh, look at Rick Jones with the space plank. I would die to see a space plank, dude. That'd be awesome. Could you imagine? Not so much in space, but really high up.
Yeah.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
that would be fun.
That needs to happen. The pirate ship had everything cool about it. Then the guns that came down was just like in a pirate ship, right? You'd have the cannons coming out the side and everything.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, what a cool version of a pirate ship in space, man. That was just.
And it wasn't shooting lasers; it was shooting missile projectiles down there. That was pretty
Things
cool.
were blowing up. Man, they jacked.
Yeah.
It really sucks for Navarro and.
It resembled a pirate ship. I mean,
It did.
You look at it and you got that piratey feel.
You did.
Yeah. And then Chris had mentioned, I think you mentioned in our private chat and everything. It's as cool as everything was. It's all right. That's the end of the pirate arc. Question mark. But
Where's
also there's 3 episodes left, right? And now we're getting into the imp arc of the
that last
Mandalorian
scene,
series.
right?
And that last scene, guys. Okay, so as funny as the ship went down and Grief Cargo was like, you guys can stay here, and the Mandalorians agreed to stay in Navarro and rebuild and all that stuff. Yeah,
which is cool. It's like new Mandalorian.
I paused
really
it to see how much time we had left. That's the first time I did it. I'm all, wait, 9 minutes? Oh, hell, a lot of stuff can happen in 9 minutes, and then 5 minutes of credits. So we got 4 minutes of screen time left.
We already had jumped to it, but this was the jump to, real quick, was the bow and armor piece. Was now this one. She took her back under to show.
Exactly.
And the one that I liked about it, too, was you do get sketchy because the way that Paz had told her she wants to speak with you. Right? And then he just was walking her down. So I got to see that part, Scott, of her reaching for the guns. But you can kind of see it the way that she was down there. And then when she started talking about the lore.
Watch your hands.
Yeah. Okay. The lore of it all was cool. But then it came to, I felt like it was like religion. We have a place now. We need to bring these religions together. Go ahead, take off your mask. And you know what? At the same time, bring people back over here.
Right.
So good.
Yeah,
and it was very religion, very much so.
Yeah.
Do you think she comes back with Sabine, or they show an interaction with her?
She will, because that's what we're saying. Because now that Zeb's in here, now that Zeb exists, it's an easy connection. Because Carson tells Zeb what's going on. Now, blah, blah, blah. It's all going to link. Sabine comes flying in near the end as one of the group.
All Carson has to do is tell Zeb,
Yep.
I went and talked to the Mandalorians. Because Zeb's going to be like, so what happened?
You found some Mandalorians. Sabine's been wanting to find her people.
Correct. Yeah, then that's all it's going to take is that little of what happened.
Or it's like I said, Bo's trying to rebuild Mandalore, and goes, Sabine becomes part of that realization, we can do this,
and her crew. She has to
home.
go find them of Axe and she said they went off. They went off pirating themselves.
And if they can get their other group back, she has Star Destroyers.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yes,
2 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So this was beautiful.
Yeah, Miss Sunflower. What a great callback cameo, Bullet Canyon for
where the new Mandalore is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. They can have everything from the lava flats to Bullet Canyon.
Yeah. So cool.
Awesome.
It's amazing.
So cool.
Yeah,
yeah, guys. So and then of course we don't get the last of Carson.
No.
Carson. We get
Carson
him.
Teva, you're right. It just you.
Yeah,
You're doing Car Senteva instead of Carson Teva.
No, I didn't. No. I was in mid thought. I was in.
Oh,
like,
gotcha. I thought you were lost on how to
was
say it all of a sudden.
Yeah, me saying something wrong. Come on, I don't do that.
I didn't buy it either.
It's Carson. I know it's Carson, but I was trying to kind of transition into the Lambda shuttle that was floating out in space that he was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this
go
is really good.
Did you guys notice that too? That whenever they were given that plot of land, that Paz and Bo both looked at Din for his nod of approval before they agreed to it.
See, there's still a difference. Just because you're the baddest ass warrior doesn't mean you're the ruler. They still check with Din. That's the way it goes. You know.
Yeah.
That's. I see it building up. I love it.
And
It's
then
all, it's all
before we
he's
switch,
like, you vouched for this guy too, and they're like, he's like, yeah, he's
I keep rewatching, and I think Paz and the armor together, and I think the armor might be the mom of Ragnar.
I don't think they have sex.
Okay.
They just recruit.
I just don't see him banging helmets. I don't. I
Okay.
just don't. Yeah, but I
Nothing in the creed about.
But she
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
She totally could be. Not saying not.
Just the way
I
that
just-
they're
yeah.
together. But what sold it for me is in rewatch of the whole time he keeps getting like the alligator and everything and the bird. She really went like a connection of no, you know, and had to run and go save him than she did the other ones. So I don't know what their connection is. I think it is more than just following her.
Well, I think she's also just very protective of her clan because the week before, with the alligator, it wasn't a youngling or a foundling that went down. An adult went down in the water, and she ran out there with her helmet and her thing, chomping through the water and saved the dude. You know, I think she's just real protective. But it could be, totally could be. But I just don't. I could back this up.
I just want to see how it is.
I want to see this back up now.
I stumbled across that video too.
But that's how it happens. They have to back that thing up, and that's the best way for Mandos. Good lord, man! That took me out.
Say something really bad, but this is
Yeah,
a PG-13
Moocher said
show.
it says Mandalorian, but what?
Mythosaur style.
Yeah,
The helmets and socks stay on.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it has to.
You can't show
Helmets
your feet either.
and socks. Yeah, it has to.
He's got a little helmet on his dong. I can't show my head.
Remove it.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
All right, so
Now to the end.
the floating Lambda shuttle that was
Yes,
out in,
thank you.
that was
Lord save me.
that Carson came across and was investigating and relaying this whole.
Hold
I
on.
love the fact to me this is so cool because like every scene that he's in space wise doing this stuff and that the pausing and the sound effects and the guy he's talking to on the call the comm,
The probe.
Lieutenant Reed.
the probe.
Please talk about the probe for a
Yes,
second.
yeah. The scope, the scope on the astromech units is a freaking satellite, or it's a
That's the same as getting jet boosters out of your legs and not knowing
Yeah.
it, right? Like, where the hell
Yeah.
did that come from? Awesome.
I looked at
by the
R2
way.
so different. I'm like,
Me
oh,
too.
yeah, right?
R2 units are the Swiss Army knife of droids. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
do
100%.
anything. They've got everything.
Yeah.
But to see it happen, it was so perfect, right?
It really
The
was.
way it was displayed on the screen inside, how it flew, and he can control it.
R4 or
There was
R3,
no
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no questioning to me of, are you serious? No, I was
Same.
so into it, like, oh, okay, so that's what it does. All
Yeah,
right, yeah.
Love
it kind of blended right in. He's all like, deploy probe. It's all. I'm like, where's the? Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the reaction. It's like,
yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Of
It is
course.
just, like, yeah. I'm like, that's awesome. I love that because that is as a direct throwback, like you said, with R2 having boosters on his legs, and we don't know everything to know about. We know about astromech droids now, obviously.
right.
So,
I disagree with
incredible.
Miss Sunflower's statement here that someone is trying to frame the Mandalorians. I
oh
disagree.
no.
disagree too.
Okay. So all right. Okay. So this scene
Buckle
is
up.
just as about as important as the entire season. Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
This sets everything else up. That better set
And
everything else up.
and it's not just the Moff Gideon escape, right? We knew this was gonna happen. So, couple questions here. Was Cara Dune in there? I know that Carson didn't see her or
They
called
didn't
her out
say
or
it.
anything.
They didn't say it.
But there was one body in there that didn't have the uniform on, but it was just an arm. It didn't have like the other ones. But anyway, I'm just saying we can headcanon it. That's an easy way to explain it. That's a really easy way to kill her character off.
I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about her character being dead anymore. They explain her away. I'm okay.
I don't. But that could be like boom, boom, sealed and. I mean,
but then they bring her up twice, and then she's And again, I don't mind the character. I don't even care about the stuff. I don't care about any of it. It's over. So I think they closed that door. Let's not talk about it no more. Let's handle it and move. Is I think how they did it. Right.
I know you never finalize it anyway, like set cement in stone. You know what I mean? You just say it because you never know. You never know if they want to bring her back or something.
Make amends and be like, you know what, this Rangers thing really works, and we really do need Cara Dune.
I agree.
Never know, man.
I agree. I just saw it come up in other people's talks about Cara Dune being in that show because she was the one in charge of them. So
James Gunn was gone for how long? Came back, did Suicide Squad for DC, and then went back to Marvel for a minute.
Exactly.
And then after they fired him, things happen. Just don't burn your bridges, right? She kind of burned some bridges, but shit. Where were we on that?
Well,
the Lambda class shuttle that was broken into,
the framing.
Yes, framing of Mandalorians.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what so this the whole rumors was true. He never made it to the war trials. He never made, and now this is confirming again. This is where, Moff Gideon, and this is like I'm saying, Carson. He's going to be like getting all this information with he's going to have to try to convince something and somebody and all these things. It's going to explode, and he's going to have to take matters in his own hand. But anyway. The most important part to me was the Beskar realizing the Mandalorians broke him out. And it's not a frame job. This is, to me, the sect of Mandalorians that were Imperial, that were part of the Empire. And it was... the
Commandos.
What's his name's brother?
Saxon. Gar
Saxon
brother.
In Rebels, his brother. They were Imperial faction. They were, Mandalorians that worked for the Empire. And I still think
brother
this
was
is
one
it.
of them.
Yeah, and I do see this being a conflict going on further, bigger, because and it makes perfect sense. The and the armor sending Bo to recruit and build, not unbeknownst that the Mandalorian, the Imperial Mandalorians, I don't know if they had a name.
I think it was Imperial
Commandos. Yeah. Okay, so they're still, and they could be with Thrawn, they could be with an Exegol, they can be out there doing stuff. I wonder if
these are Gideon. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was wondering if Gar Saxon's brother did he die? No.
I don't think I don't remember him dying. I think he could have survived that. Gar died.
We talked about Christopher Lloyd being him.
Perhaps.
We talked about that, perhaps. So
that's why I do think that's what we're seeing here. I remember there's rumors of the Praetorian Guard type thing. It could just be Red Mandos, by the way. But these are Gideon's people. Gideon is the one that was the ISB over Mandalore. Knows all about the Night of 1,000 Tears. Knows all about everybody there. Knows,
and it's his faction that broke him out.
His faction. Already the rumor
loyalists, right?
About the helmet, right? All this stuff. He's and the Darksaber. He's obsessed with Mandalore. He wants to rule Mandalore. He may have been a Mandalorian. He wasn't a Mandalorian. But he's going to have, like, his armor is reminiscent of Mandalore. His helmet's going to be all this stuff. There's no framing involved. He just has Mandalorians. And that's what makes it perfect. I like it so much better. And I've always talked about more factions and more kind of stuff. And this is the real Mandalorian Civil War Part 2 going on. Like this is what's going to happen moving on. It's not going to be between Bo's faction and Armor's faction. It's going to be between that group, Din's group, and the Commandos. Exactly right.
Gideon's group. And I love it.
That's why I don't want them to have any beef inside, right? Because you don't want that. These guys are against them. Everybody
we'll call it growing pains instead of beef. We'll call it growing pains. That's it. Yeah. Go ahead, Joey.
Do you think the New Republic will go after the Mandalorians because they're thinking that they're the ones that broke them out?
They don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly think that the whole thing about the New Republic is that they're just bogged down with paperwork. We've seen it. They're just bogged down trying to restructure, helping the worlds that sign the treaty or whatever, and everything, because everything's going to be happening underneath their noses. Because again, we have to get to the sequels.
But you don't think they would care that they don't care that
Carson Tevil
got broken out?
They
didn't
care. Remember, he said, "Oh, the rumor's true." That thing had been sitting there.
Right. That's right.
You get what I'm saying? Like it had been there, and because he's investigating, he stumbled upon it, right? And so it's like, oh, the rumors are true. Like they don't. It's never been reported Grief escaped or he's on our radar. He didn't even know.
Right.
So that's where
And like
I
I
see
said,
that being
Leia will
that.
care. Carson Teva will care. That faction that forms the Resistance will care. And this is all going to be under the noses of the New Republic. And then the First Order, like I said, is happening in the shadows. It's going to be happening without in like all of a sudden they're there, and it's like the hints and rumors and the talks about a new empire growing. Those will all be there, but the New Republic is going to be so bogged down with what they're trying to structure. That's you know.
Carson's having a hard enough time getting them to see the Empire has remnants that are problems, right? They're really not going to deal with a small sect of hidden Mandos that took out one ship. They're not going to deal with it. They didn't deal with a pirate invasion. You know?
Right.
You would think with the big deal that was made of Moff Gideon, though, that they would be a little more up in arms that he never made it to trial. I mean, you would think that you'd think there'd be more to it. You know, the transport of him was classified, and I'm assuming it was made classified so nobody would know he was being transported in that shuttle. It was attacked. He escaped. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a shit. It's like, okay, that nobody cares. And it's like, I thought he was a bigger deal than this. The man that took out Mandalore.
So
you would
for the
think
Republic,
that he was a
it
bigger
could be
deal.
just like another warlord, but they didn't really do their investigating on who he really is. I don't know.
What I was just gonna say. What a great point to come out of this. To Joey's point, is Carson has to go back to Mando, Bo, and Armor and be like, "Hey, why is there armor in here?" So he knows, and Bo knows everything about him.
These
and
guys.
and can say, "No, he had his own section. He wanted to rule," and we can get the full story. You know what I mean? Of that's our way of knowing exactly what happened.
When they go back to the armorer, when we go back to the armorer, they'll figure out whose armor that is, because this was the first time they have ever said alloy.
Yeah.
Ever.
Beskar alloy.
So when they melt it, when she takes it, she'll recognize it and be like, "This isn't how I make our Beskar. This is made by this clan." Blah 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 blah. Right, that kind of thing. When they see this Beskar alloy. I mean, some of them use it, right? Only Din has like pure Beskar. They all have some kind of alloy, but she's going to recognize her work versus somebody else's.
Some don't even have full helmets. They just
you see that picture?
Yeah, I take that.
I brought that up last week.
I took that as a training helmet, because their heads grow too fast, like, you know.
We can write it off. I mean,
it was weird.
But imagine that kid when he sees Grogu with his big old
Luke's
chest piece. On there.
yeah.
Like, you gave him that. And he's 2 foot tall, and you couldn't finish my helmet.
He's like the Tron disc goes behind you, not
yes.
Man, talk about somebody doing nothing in an episode. Grogu was non-give-a-shitable, right? I mean, like, whatever.
He had his
and it was
moment
still
last week
great.
and,
exactly. He was in his lap, and he looked around a couple times.
It was still great.
Perfectly fine.
Show Grogu's not the star of the show. You don't need to have everything Grogu, right? I mean, we got his thing with Ahmed Best last week. Like, that was amazing. That was cool. And you're right. Here, nothing about him. Nothing even came up.
Just negative. Just negative at first. We thought it was blasting him, right? Like, to save this one little foundling.
Correct. Right.
That was it.
But you know what? He had it right, though. There was a lot that died. If you remember the pile of buckets?
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot that died. So I get what he was saying. Like, I was like, ooh, he's
but he turned it around. But yes,
that was amazing. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Fantastic. This is, again, we have another 3 episodes left for that arc, and where they left it off. Like I said, when I paused it, I was like, oh, cool, we still got time, because everything I saw was epic. But to the point of, like, okay, where's this thing? Where's the more of what we've been getting hints of? And now we can start really putting in some meat on this thing.
I imagine next week. I mean, it has to be
Gideon out.
It has to be
Gideon out, and I really leaning on that, like the Imperial Commandos, you know, the Mandalorian Commandos, and him and Gideon, and
it would just
you know what I mean.
It would tie it all together so nicely too. If we're talking about bringing Sabine back into it. Because Sabine was up against, I mean, that was her flying up against those Imperial Commandos in the image I showed. You know,
yes,
it all ties in together,
and Bo has too.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, with what's coming, though, we know Gideon's there. Do you guys think we'll get more flashbacks to A Night of a Thousand Tears? Do you think we'll see more of that storyline? What
I don't know
Gideon's actual role was on Mandalore?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we'll get more of Gideon's role. Yeah, we're gonna understand why he's obsessed. Maybe how he even got the Darksaber.
That's
That
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
probably it.
I think that
We need
story
that.
is going to be told. And then, as you said that with Carson of Sabine, well, there's another way too. Because what if he goes back to Zeb and thinks that he messed up because he doesn't know? Like, who knows that the imps had Mandos working for them? It's like, is that a known thing?
Oh, the Empire
No.
did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Zeb
no,
don't
I don't think so. I think that's more of a close knit thing.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So
I
what if
thought they
then
were
Zeb's
very
like,
known in the.
Sabine
You can-
didn't know until she
Oh,
got
not
there.
Sabine. Well, I thought but the Empire knew. That's what
Yeah,
he's asking. He's asking about the Empire.
no, I'm saying, does Carson know
Oh,
that the Empire had them? So then that's the thing, to go to Zeb of, I messed up. I told them to go help. They could have been the ones that broke it out, as Joey was saying. But then he's like, well, let's talk to my friend. And here comes Sabine. And then it gets tied in as far as.
There you go. There you go.
There's a
I need
sec
more
of-
information on Mandalorians. I know somebody. You know what I
Correct.
mean? Like, yeah.
Correct, right, yeah.
And then
Because he
Sabine
could
knows
be-
Bo and blah blah blah
Yes.
blah blah. And
Yeah, and that's where he could feel like, hey, I messed up. I thought I was telling them a good thing for grief, but they could have been the ones that broke him out. And it's
Right.
no,
Yeah.
no, I don't. I mean, I'm assuming you don't. Assuming you don't know anything.
I don't know.
I don't see. I don't think that would happen. But now you're saying it, I'm like, oh shit, does Ernie know something? Shit, it's gonna mess my whole thing up.
Ernie's been very good about not.
Never, ever. So I
Saying
can't
things.
imagine he's doing it now. See, I don't know what to
Yeah.
do. I don't know what to do here. Messing my whole shit.
I
up,
don't know
Ernie.
that one. Marco knows what I know. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh man, it all changed.
But-
It used to say that Fallen Fett knows something.
Oh, yeah,
he
he-
already secretly knows something. Damn
Now
it.
he's plugging.
I had to turn it off from my other show.
I would like to
They
see
were like, what is that?
Oh.
No,
The-
nothing.
the background of Gideon and the Darksaber is going to be interesting to me because if he didn't win it, then his whole statement on the ship that day about she can't take it, the saber doesn't have meaning, the story does. Makes it more kind of sarcastic because he's been trying to rule the Mandalorians and they won't listen to him, right? Because he just took the saber, he didn't win
That's
it.
true too. That's
So
true, too.
maybe that's part of his little pissy shit, in
Yeah.
that moment. And nobody has a story right now to tell except Din.
Yeah.
Nobody. So.
Yeah, because exactly.
Or else he would have already had all the Mandalorians, not just a small sack of Mandalorians.
I agree with that. I agree. Like at that point of time, he would have gathered a army of Mandalorians, wave that thing around, and they'll follow.
Yeah,
That's
right.
That's
He would have had Bo's people.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be the final episode? It's going to be the final battle between Din and Moff Gideon, and Din just finally kind of clicks with the Darksaber, where either he loses it and it's gone, or he finally is able to wield it and not almost drop it or cut his leg off. Do we think it's gonna? There's gonna be like a moment where it clicks.
Yeah, I would hope that going this whole time and Bo gave it back to him. He's always using. It's like okay, this is his weapon now. I hope there would become a time where he masters the technique on it, or maybe not masters, but gets involved in it and it's his now.
Kanan helps Sabine.
Episodes. Oh yeah,
Kanan helps Sabine. So what if Bo helps Din?
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
The whole what you have to do. Yeah, that's what I'm
Well, the
saying.
armor
So
tried. She
could
could still
that
try
happen?
again, right? She's the
Yeah,
one who gave
she
him
was.
the lessons.
Yeah,
so
she
the
was
armor
trying
could-
too. You're
yeah,
right.
Sure.
Yeah, she was trying too.
She can get
so-
back to it and be like, all right, listen, we're going to do this council thing. Bo's going to do this. I'm going to do this. And you got, so I need you
We're
to
on
not cut
land
your
now.
leg every time you pull this thing
Yeah,
out. you
we're
know?
on
Yeah.
land now. No need of you thinking you're gonna fall off the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't people
right.
laughing at you, Din. You need to run this shit.
So Scott, that's a good point. Let's say either someone's going to challenge him for it and he has to learn it right then, or it's a duel between Gideon and he'll eventually get with it, or something's going to click. Yeah, I would like that. Let's put it that way. I would like that it clicks and now really try to get it from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though he couldn't wield it, he still didn't lose to Paz. So, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
And he handled Oh no, he didn't have it with fighting Gideon. He only used the spear, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
So-
So there in the chat, there's asking if we see Zeb again. Our theories say yes because of the whole Sabine connection and the whole Mandalorian, which makes a great amount of sense. But there's also that fear of
You have to set up Ahsoka.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. That we'll see him definitely and I'm saying definitely, but I don't know, in Ahsoka.
I think we need to see the team.
I do too. I absolutely do.
So from last
Celebration,
Celebration, we had that clip of them.
Yeah.
Remember from Celebration, there's the clip of them that was exclusive to there.
Yeah,
so
that'd be awesome,
we have her say Thrawn.
Yeah.
We know she's getting the show. We know what it's about because of Rebels, the end of Rebels. So, and here Zeb just shows up. I feel like they have to just automatically show up. But you know what the great part is? We were so thrilled about Zeb, and to other people, oh, look at that huge alien talking to Carson.
Yeah,
like nothing, but it's just a cool looking alien, right? That's still played out.
That's exactly what we were talking about. Like, it's actually cool because we'll instantly get it. It's introducing Zeb to everybody else who's not familiar, and then when he's more prominent in Ahsoka, they'll get backstory and they'll get things through dialogue and whatever. And if they want to explore, then that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, but
that's the reason I think we need to see the Ghost Crew.
Okay, right there, we need to see the Ghost Crew. Right? What did they say today? They set us up today with this Navarro invasion.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
we don't have ships. They do.
Yeah,
Imperials do. The Ghost is a ship. Carson Teva has a ship. All these guys will bring the ships. I bet when it gets down with Gideon, that's when the Ghost shows up, and all of a sudden now you have out of nowhere, here comes the cavalry. That's Star Wars all day, is bringing the cavalry.
And also especially to that point about go ahead. Yeah,
I'm sorry. No, I
was just going to say that point about Zeb. Thrawn is the same boat. Only anybody who's paying attention to Star Wars that are not involved in books or cartoons only heard the name. We are very familiar with them on Rebels and what is going to go forward. So there's always that transition of like, okay, how do we bring in a character that half the fan base knows, and to the other half the fan base that will they'll buy into it. They'll know he's an existing character. They'll know he's established and all his roles going forward. So I think doing it the way, like I said, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect because with Zeb, I really didn't leave off with a lot of questions, so it's perfect to reintroduce into this thing going forward. Thrawn, we did with a lot of questions, but that will be answered, moving forward.
So has there been said in any comics or anything else besides Rebels about Hera's son having Jedi traits?
I'm sorry. I keep forgetting about him. We never talk about Jason. I don't know. There really hasn't been much talk about it, but she did say he takes after his father.
He's grown now, right? He's got to be like at least what?
He's going to be. He's
no. Like 10. He's like 10.
10? Somewhere between 10 and somewhere around there. He's going to be the same age we saw him in that cockpit. That was about the right age.
That's what I'm saying. It depends or where that time frame was. If that brings us up to Mandalorian proper, you know what I mean? Like that scene.
Okay.
So after the conflict with this, and then the Ghost shows up and does this Mandalorian conflict, and then that scene in Rebels was the scene propelling Ahsoka's. Come on, dude.
Okay.
I mean, that's
check
perfect.
This. And then you've got so we know we're getting Ezra back, right? I mean, Ezra has supposedly been cast. This is Rebels season 5.
Oh my god.
Ezra takes on the mentor role of Jason, teaching his Jedi Master's son the ways of the Force.
I love it all. I'm in.
Yeah. Meantime, Kanan is
and then he sucks at it
with
exactly. To Miss Sunflower's point, then he's bad at it. And he takes him to Luke. And then
exactly.
And then Ben kills him.
Exactly.
Oh, God, you got to ruin everything.
Ben did it.
Yeah, Ben did it. Yeah, not Chris.
Yeah, not me, man. These guys got to get trained. They go to school. We know they're there. So I mean, they're all.
He's also Ahsoka, though.
You don't think maybe he was trained by Ahsoka?
That's true.
A little bit.
Wouldn't it be a little more poetic for it to be?
Yes.
It would be a little more poetic for it to be, Kanan's Padawan that would teach Kanan.
I just don't think they're going to have downtime for that kind of stuff. I think we're going to get thrust into this.
And Hera could be against it.
Oh, could be.
She lost Kanan, and no, I don't want that. Ahsoka could be like, I can. Would you like me to? And she's like, no, let him live his life. He doesn't need to know it. Well,
like I said,
no, because she's such a fighter still. I think she'd raise him up that way. I think she would want to encourage. I think who knows, right? I could be totally wrong. I would think she'd want to encourage him, and I think that last bit in that Rebels where he takes after his father is a good thing. It's like she's very much into that he's going to be another a possible Jedi and help the Republic. She's very into that, right? She remember from a kid, she was raised by Cham. She's been in the fight since she was a kid too.
Yeah.
You know, so I
That's
think
right.
her, to your point, that might make her want to make him not be in it.
Just
but
regular.
I just don't see her changing.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's wind down. Of course, we got to. We're going to be continuing the conversations when we leave here on our Facebook Central, on our private chats. Next week when we regroup. This has been great. Yeah, I mean, I can go for another 8 hours, no problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's 7 to 8 years after Return of the Jedi, but Rebels was 4 years before that, 5 years before that.
Yeah.
So I see the talk going on in the chat. So he's like 12.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. In that
Rebels.
cartoon,
I mean, Kanan died before A New Hope, so she wasn't
Yeah.
pregnant for 4 years. So.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactimondo. But yeah. So any last things that we could think of before we get out of here and call it a night?
Dude,
as
I
far as,
lost
like,
it.
I mean,
There was
Yeah.
like 40 things, but we have tons of.
there's a
episodes
lot, dude.
left.
There's still a lot. There's still a lot of theory crafted, which is great. Like I said, this is a very, very good time to be thrust in the Star Wars stories, because what we're getting, to me, is good. It's good stuff, and I'm not mad. We've always said this before. We're not mad that things Disney Plus is going to enhance sequel stuff. In no way, shape, or form is Disney canceling the sequels. Okay, so we got to lean into them. This is their way of leaning into them, and this is my little soapbox of the people that are like, they're
Preach.
going too close.
Preach
It's going
it. I
too
love it.
close, and they're because I've seen some people getting mad about the direction, not necessarily the lack of cameos or explosions. It's they're making the sequels make too much sense, going at this way. And
They're
stuff.
trying to fix this and that. Just shut up and enjoy the story.
Exactly.
It's cool. And if it just happens to make it better, it makes it better. Nobody complains about the Clone Wars, and the Clone Wars made the prequels 10 times better.
Yeah, I agree, and like I said, I think that's the only way it's good. That's the only direction it can go. Okay, because again, Disney's not going to be like, sorry, don't even look that way. We never did that. They'll never ever backtrack on it.
There are things
So,
in the
lean into it.
prequel that lead into the original trilogy.
Of course, man.
Right? So obviously you're going to have things in the original trilogy and in the stuff right after Return of the Jedi that lead into the sequels. It makes sense. People just want to complain to complain, man. Okay, I'll tell you this right now. This season is rad, dude. We are getting so much lower, right? So I typed this out on the internet to some clown today, right? If you don't like Mandalorian lore, if you don't want to finish Bo-Katan's arc that has been going since the Clone Wars into Rebels, into season 7 of Clone Wars, and now into Mando and stuff, what are you doing? Why are you even watching all this stuff? What's the point? You don't want to see Grogu learn how to use the Force and become a Mandalorian Force user? Get out of town,
They're
man.
looking for the Luke Skywalker moments every single episode.
Yeah, we're even getting the pew-pews now. Shut up. And that was badass pew-pews today.
It was great, man. It was great.
We are getting everything. And clone madness through all of it. Get out of town, man.
No, that's great.
I can't get any better
Hands
Star
down.
Wars than this.
Hands down. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I want to thank everybody in the pit for being live there, or being digested. Your screams of theories were heard throughout the and sent ripples through the forest.
We're getting pretty close on some stuff, though. I mean, we got
I
some
think so.
things. Even on Bad Batch, we kind of got Bad Batch down. That was got a little.
Sure.
Somebody was going to die. Sid was going to turn. Blah 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 blah. Right.
Yeah, sure.
We're getting there.
Bad Batch was awesome. The last 5 episodes were just really good, man. Like really good storytelling, and we knew it would turn around. I had I cried about it a little bit, but I had some faith left, and they proved me wrong. So I'm great. I'm good with it. And so I'm like, where's season 3? Come on, so we can get season 3 episode 12 where we regroup.
And there's only 8 episodes. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
I'm
but
okay
yeah, guys,
with that, man. I serious to God, if they just put 8 episodes, that'd make them cool.
I would be cool. Yeah. We
Stop
don't need all
putting
that.
16 out and dragging it
failed missions
on.
every time. Yeah, I don't think they made a dime for Sib for her to keep sending them out. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, so let's do this again next Wednesday, guys. We'll reconvene and we'll do another episode of Mandalorian. So I'm going to kick it off to Ernie to take us out of here. But I do want to say thank you, and yeah, this has been fun. So Ernie, take us out.
Thank you everyone for joining us in the pit tonight. Do me a favor, guys. To the point of what Chris is talking about, join me Monday night on the Boba Squadron. It's another show that I'm part of with Paul, Sun Young Lee, Carson Teva. Yes.
Teva.
So
Carson
I do.
Teva, not Carson Teva.
I am blessed to have a show with him as well too, and it's a lot of fun over there.
I can't wait to see what he
the
says.
guy
Yeah.
is one of us. Yeah. And so to let him know that, like we've said, all this negativity does affect everybody. So why don't you come on over and let him know, great episode. Hey, love the character and like that. Because that helps build our community up. You know what I mean? Anybody a thumbs up, hey man, you did awesome. This was a great episode. You know what? Let's get over that negativity hump and try and bring in the positive. So that's Monday night, Boba Squadron. I have all the links on my stuff. Toying Around's channel at 6 p.m. PST. I posted in my stories. Go over there, say hello, what's up? I know a lot of people who are here already do, but let's get some more of the pit over there too and say what's up and how much you enjoyed it. Because I'm sure he would appreciate that. Yeah. Because I was super proud of him last night for a huge story and everything that he was doing, because he is just one of us. And that's Ernie, the best part.
And Ernie, relay our sentiments as a Starlight Digest to him.
Absolutely.
That when he's ready to come on with Omid and let's talk about all the behind the scenes stuff. Let's talk about all these things, but really tell him from us too. Like we're in on it.
I was just going to say, can we get all three on?
No, I know. Dude, if we can get all three for reals. Yeah.
These last 2 weeks with people we could possibly get on the show or have had on shows has been incredible.
Yeah. I'm serious. For reals. If we can get all three, it'd be a great episode.
Yeah, and like we theory craft his character to the fullest, man. We think he's pretty much the heart and soul of the New Republic going forward. And so relay that to him, that we, like positive talk.
And the same
critical talk is what we do. Yeah.
To Chris and him, because they've done an amazing job too. And they don't hear it enough, right? The Pershing story was great. Go throw him some love on his own account. Be like, dude, you did awesome. Like, that's all it takes. So that's what I'm saying, because they're fans just like we are too. Yeah. Even more so. And they've made the dream happen. Literally, we got to get our dream
too. Come on.
Yeah. Why not? Shoot.
Actually, I'd rather just be jealous about it, to be honest with you. I'm just going to be snotty. You know what? They are living my dream. F that.
It is. Yeah.
I'm gonna go sell stuff now. Tell people to sell stuff.
Yeah. So do that, like I said, Monday night, Boba Squadron, and then come back and join us Wednesday again. Tonight's episode is always sponsored by Tashi Station Emporium. Check out my last show, Fallen Fett Chronicles, with Darth Moocher, as we showed off some brand new stuff and what he has coming. Scott showing the jealousy arc right there with the brand new indie. Yeah, check that out. We got blaster doors right there. Yeah.
Oh man, are they going to be able to close?
Well, they do come out, and you can insert a closed version or a damaged version or a half version to have Vader coming in. Yeah, there's all kinds of customizable things going on here.
I asked that because obviously Jedi can't open doors, so I was hoping to close
we have to do it for them. We have to.
Which again, I don't know if we discussed a couple weeks ago. Grogu can't open a lock. It's same thing.
Yeah.
Doors and locks always an issue.
Yeah. So the doors are fully. They come out and you can replace them.
That's
with other
freaking
things,
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
We show it off fully.
I have some pictures coming, and the freaking awesome putting Obi-Wan and Vader behind, like right here, with other walls, and the stormtroopers in the foreground. And it's really cool. I'm excited. So May this year, so 1 month away, this will be available for everybody. So.
Wow!
And for all our listeners across the world, Tashi Station just upped their eBay game and can now do international shipping. Yes,
yes.
Nice. So
international.
Prestige worldwide.
Prestige
worldwide. So again, use that code of Sarlacc Digest Podcast to receive 10% off your order. We thank you, Tashi Station, for representing us. And again, go check that out. It was a lot of fun. Mooch, thanks a lot. I greatly appreciate it.
Of course, man. Anytime.
Innocent. Come on, Innocent. You know what time it starts. Now you got to be part of the replay crew with everybody else, right? So
replay check it out live tonight.
Yeah. Put that comment in there. That helps us. Everybody leaving right now, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget, and then go check out all our past episodes. We do have another hot topic coming from Chris. That's there right now. Remember to.
Does Chris know this?
No, I did. I did it. I just can't transfer it over to my computer to edit it.
Oh,
no!
Okay, that worked. I'll figure it out. I'm not an
All
idiot.
right.
Cool.
I'm just taking a week to do it.
You got it,
We
man.
got cool things coming up also too. So remember to stay tuned in with us on all our social medias, from Sarlacc Digest Central on Facebook to Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Tons of reviews from Scott Solo, and
Yes,
we will
they're
be
back.
here next week. Same Sarlacc channel, same Sarlacc time.
Yeah.
Come and
No
jump
more
in the
Bad
pit.
Batch channel. So
Bring a friend next week, because
next week is Bring a Friend Day.
Yes.
Night.
So as you do,
You guys are already here.
yeah,
I know all
That's
5 of
what
my
I got.
friends are here.
yeah, yeah.
There's only 4 others besides me.
And then let's
How'd you get 5? That's all.
I include Mike.
I'm my own friend.
Mike.
Oh, gotcha. I'm my own best friend. I was
Yeah.
waiting for a barf
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, right. I'm my own best friend.
So let's finish up these last episodes, and then let's make that grand episode happen
Yes.
with Chris and Paul and everybody. That'd be amazing.
Yes.
That'd be a
Dude,
show.
done.
They're all
Done.
friends, so that'd be
I know.
Be awesome.
I love it. I think
Yeah.
it would be great, man. Yeah, so many things, and I want to. And it's so funny too. It's like, just before we go, like, it's not just to tell them how good they are doing and how much we love them on the show. I am very, very curious on their fandom and how they view Mandalorian and Star Wars, and as a fan doing that stuff.
Yes.
So it's a very cool interaction. Like, I love having a guest on that is part of the whole thing going on, but also to geek out with us, to theory craft, to get
because they're in it too.
their heads too. Yeah, of course. Of
Yeah.
course, they can't say a lot of stuff because they have some insight, but
Correct.
in between seasons, they could definitely come in theory craft on what's going forward. So awesome, guys. Thank you so much. What a 2.5 hour show. We rarely do that, but hey, man, it was
It was
an
3
epic
episodes, man.
week. It was an epic week. Epic. So
It's true. It was 3 episodes of content. Yeah.
exactly. So with that, I'm out of here. We're out of here.
All right.
Scott.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.